Sunday, September 6th, 2020, you are listening to the Inquisitive Bro podcast. Today, part 2 of our NFL preview, NFC edition. I'm Chris, they're the Petrovski Bros. Let's go. Alright, so we're doing the NFC preview today, and like last time, we're joined by the Petrovski brothers, two proud Macedonians, but instead of Connor, we have the eldest Petrovski brother, Dylan, who, if you had to make a Godfather reference, is for sure the Sonny of the family.
I agree with that statement. Also, I'm here. I'm Ryan from the previous podcast.
That's true. I mentioned that in the lead. Ryan is still here. He's going to be a mainstay on most of these NFL pods. But, Dylan, the only reason why I tell you that you're the Sonny has nothing to do with maybe your abilities to run a crime organization. I just believe that if I had to put money on who would get gunned down in a car by, like, multiple different shooters, it would probably be you if I had to choose.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
I mean, someone's going to have to be the guy that gets gunned down.
It's better than betraying someone, which Connor would totally do.
Hold on. Connor's going to listen to this. He's going to be upset. But
If
accurate.
Yeah, you don't deny that. Okay, but we're not here to talk about your sibling rivalries. We're actually here to talk about football, and specifically the NFC. And we are going to follow the similar format that we did last time with the AFC, where we're going division by division. We're going to start with the NFC East. In the NFC East, we have the Cowboys, Eagles, Giants, and the newly minted Washington football team. According to OddsShark, their over-unders, Cowboys, 9.5 wins, Eagles, 9.5 wins, Giants, 6.5 wins, and the Washington football team, 5.5 wins. So, Dylan, I'm going to put this to you first. My first question, most likely to surpass expectations in this division?
To be honest, I'd probably say the Giants.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Hot take.
Hot take, just because Dallas is going to finish 8-8 like every year. I think Philadelphia is the favorite. I think Washington's horrible. And I just think the Giants could get 6 or 7 wins. I think.
So you're big on Daniel Jones?
I think Daniel Jones could actually throw a football.
I mean, he's called Danny Dimes for a reason.
Well, he had one good game, but like, I think he could throw a football. I don't think he's a bust, so I think they get 3 or 4 wins because of his arm, and they get a couple more. What was their over-under again for the Giants?
6.5.
6.5?
6.5 wins.
That's pretty high for a team that won 4 games last year.
Well, let me tell you about... So last year, their DVOAs, 28th in defense, 22nd in offense, and 17th in special teams. So, like, they're exceedingly mediocre.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I agree with that.
And so, I don't know. I mean, maybe that bumps it up a little bit.
I mean, there's nowhere to go but up for them, basically.
Well, the shadow of Eli Manning is gone, too. I think it's kind of...
Yeah.
I was lingering last year. I think that's gone now. I think Daniel Jones could kind of shine and throw the football.
I think the shadow of Eli Manning was gone even while Eli Manning was still there.
I'm looking at their schedule, too. They got the football team first game, and then they got Bengals third game, and Steelers easy to win.
Oh, excuse you.
It's an easy win right from
Not
that.
an easy win.
For the listeners out there, so the Petrovskis are not all Steelers fans. If you listen to the AFC preview, you'd know that Ryan is a complete Steelers homer, but Dylan is a Dolphins fan.
Poor guy.
Yeah, not by choice, but yeah.
Well, they forced you?
He was basically forced.
Like you implied earlier, I had a lot of guns in my face in my childhood.
Okay, so you're going with the Giants there. That's not who I had, but I'm curious then, Ryan, who would you have as the most likely to exceed expectations?
I think most likely to exceed expectations is the Cowboys. I think 9.5 is very conservative for them. I think they are hands down the best team in the division.
No.
On offense by a mile. Their defense is not great, but it's not terrible. They're serviceable. I think that Dak's going to have a good year. I think Zeke's going to have a great year. Their receiving core is tops in the league, if you ask me. They got Amari Cooper. They got Michael Gallup. They drafted CeeDee Lamb, exactly. They just drafted CeeDee Lamb, who I think is going to be a star.
Yeah, but can Dak Prescott throw more than like 10 yards accurately?
He threw like how many yards last year? Like 4,500
or
something?
No, at a time, you can't throw farther than 20 yards.
Oh, no. But just get the ball in the hands of the playmakers. Let the guys make the plays.
So, Ryan, I had the exact same answer for you because I think the Cowboys are just simply the most talented team in this division. Mm-hmm. And if things work out...
Good.
Philly is good, but I mean, if you're just looking on paper, I mean, we're trying to analyze before the games have even played, right? If you're just looking on paper, you have to say that the Cowboys have the edge. Now, that granted, it seems like that almost every year for the past few years with
exactly.
them.
And they always go 7-9
They're
or
always
9-7,
still the Cowboys.
8-8.
This is not your Jason Garrett's Cowboys.
Exactly.
This is now your Mike
Mike
McCarthy's Cowboys, who
Also famously blows teams that have a lot of talent.
Yeah, like Aaron
at
Rodgers.
least he has a Super Bowl
He does have a Super Bowl.
with Aaron Rodgers
10 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, and he only won one with Aaron Rodgers, who might be the best quarterback of our generation, if you were to ask some people. Only winning one with him is a bit of a disappointment, but I think he's got a lot of talent in Dallas to work with. I think he's learned a lot from his time in Green Bay.
I think Dallas is the best defense. I'll give you that.
Yeah, do you
Their
think...
defense last year was
But
shockingly.
they lost Byron Jones, who was a stud last year, if you guys watch Cowboys games. I don't think he's going to be that good in Miami, but the best linebacking core, other than Philadelphia, only actual line in the NFC East. They need a safety. They should go after Earl Thomas.
Well, he's the one that's, if you're listening to this now, Earl Thomas is still currently a free agent after being cut by the Ravens. Obviously, Earl Thomas is rumored to be going to Dallas, but that obviously has not happened yet.
He wants
They
to go
also
there.
lost Robert Quinn last year. I don't know if that's a big deal. I'm talking about the Cowboys.
Who did
but
Quinn go to?
I don't know. I'm just looking at their key subtractions and additions, which I wrote in my notes.
Robert Quinn is on the Bears now.
The Bears.
You bring up a point about the Cowboys. They actually had potentially a surprisingly mediocre defense. If you were thinking that they had a really good defense, because last year, based on DVOA from Football Outsiders, they were 16th.
Yeah, well, that's what I said. They're not
They're
bad, but
injury
they're
prone.
fine.
Yeah,
They
well-
got DeMarcus Lawrence. They have a couple pieces.
But they had the second
Van Der
offense.
Esch is great.
They have
I
Everson
think.
Griffin, who's still a good player.
Yeah. Who's their other linebacker? Davis?
Jalen Smith.
Jalen Smith. sorry.
Jalen Smith
Yeah.
is a good player.
Great player.
Out of Notre Dame.
Yeah. Van Der Esch and Jalen Smith, I'm really high on. But that being said, I just think Philadelphia has a better team, way better coach, much more creative team. Actually has a quarterback that I believe in.
So
if
then,
he stays healthy.
Then we'll move on to the next question then. And I guess, Dylan, this I may already know your answer, but my next question is most likely to disappoint in this division. So I guess you would go with the Cowboys then, going to their perennial 8-8, which is always disappointment.
Yeah, exactly. Like Dallas always kind of gets that 8-8 thing, and they're gonna win their first two games. I'm sure. Who they play first? They play the Rams, Falcons, Seahawks. So like, that's a pretty hard. That's a tough start, and then they play the Browns. So I think the Browns gonna be good. I don't know if you guys talked about that one, but
Yeah.
We did in the AFC. Yeah.
I think Browns gonna be it's a bounce back season for the Browns, but if the Cowboys don't start pretty hot, they have no chance.
I guess one note on the Cowboys then is this is kind of a hot take look, but do they have too much media scrutiny? Is there way too much pressure on this team to be able to play a little loose and perform to what their abilities would suggest they could?
There's always too much pressure on the Cowboys. They're always the center of attention in the league. They're America's team, right? They're expected to go 12-4 every year because of the talent they have and the money they throw at their guys. And, Jerry Jones is a crazy person, but,
Allegedly.
Crazy like a fox.
But they,
On a yacht.
the pressure gets to these guys every now and then, and they fold a lot of the time, especially young guys like Dak and Zeke. They don't know how to deal with it. If they were veterans of, 15 years in the league, the pressure wouldn't get to them as much. But right now it's tough for young guys to go into an organization like that and try and perform the way they're expected to.
But is Zeke really feeling the pressure? Because, ever since he's been in, he's just killed it for the most part.
Zeke's great.
Yeah.
Zeke's their offense, and that line is kind of aging, but
Still a good line. Still arguably the best line in the league.
Arguably, yeah. Again, like you noted, great wide receivers now. Really, very talented at every skill position. If they don't get 10 wins, it would be a huge bust for them. But again, I don't know. Growing up in this generation, I don't see the Cowboys exceeding 8 wins again, and I don't see Dak Prescott putting the team on his back. And I think he's a good leader. I don't think he's a good quarterback. That's just
fair enough. Okay, so Dylan, you have the Cowboys as the most disappointing. Going to you, Ryan. Same answer? Well, I guess you had Cowboys as most
Yeah, so not the same answer.
Not the
it'd
same
have to be the Eagles then.
Yeah,
because-
so to fly in the face of what you're saying, I think the Eagles are going to disappoint big time this year. I think 9.5 wins is very ambitious for them. I think they're going to fold under pressure. I think Carson Wentz is not as good as a lot of people say he is. I think
Just to interrupt you, I guess then one thing I'm getting is you don't think there's 2 playoff teams coming out of this division, do you?
No, I think there's one playoff team. I think the Cowboys might go 10-6, 11-5. I think the Eagles go 8-8, maybe 7-9.
I had the Washington football team as the most likely to disappoint because I think they're terrible.
What, they're going to get 2 wins or 1 win?
Like, I assume Dan Snyder, now that he's changed the name, is like, okay, time for some good luck to come. Probably 7-9 team. I mean,
No.
I think what they're trying to do this year is get a high draft pick.
for sure.
I think, honestly, like, I really believe they're kind of pushing off this whole nickname thing for next year because they're going to get a face of a franchise player next to Chase Young. And they're going to be like, here's our new team name. Here's the offense guy. Here's the defense guy. Here's our 2 wins from last year. We're going to win 7 this year. And it's going to be a thing. I think Washington, it's like, I would like to coach them because they have so much young talent and good picks coming up. But that being said,
Right.
Again, a lot of
Are you a
scrutiny.
Dwayne Haskins guy?
I don't hate the guy personally, but I don't think he's got the arm for the NFL.
He
What
doesn't
is
have the
the
talent.
Josh Rosen potential on Dwayne Haskins if the Redskins get the
Josh
number
Rosen
1
is a free
overall
agent,
pick?
by the way.
No, I'm saying like if Redskins get number 1 overall pick, they're probably taking Trevor Lawrence. They're going to take another
Fields.
QB, right?
Yeah, well, if Justin Fields, I don't think they get first. I think Jacksonville's a lock for first. Washington.
That's why you play the games though, right? Just to see who's good and also to see who's bad.
Well, Jacksonville has given up, I think. But I think the football team will finish like second last or third last and pick Fields. That's what I would do.
Right. I mean, just last part on that about Jacksonville tanking. I mean, you of all people, Dylan, would know that sometimes when you try your best to tank, it doesn't work quite as well as you think.
What are you implying? And I'm a Steelers fan?
Oh, excuse
No,
me.
that the
When have we
Dolphins ended up miraculously in 5th worst instead of worst.
Yeah, I think Brian Flores should have got NFL Coach of the Year, but that's just my hot take because he had no talent on that team and got 5 wins out of that, and I don't know. It's to push to end the Patriots franchise dynasty. Sorry. To win that last game.
Yeah, with the talent they have, was pretty impressive.
Pretty impressive.
I could throw together a team of like 20 of my friends, and we could beat the Dolphins, or at least be close with them.
Maybe at the beginning of the season when they got pumped by the Ravens, and I forgot the other team who beat them by 50. But no, I think Miami has a shot to win 6 games this year.
Wow. You
6.
heard it here first.
Wow.
6.
The hottest take I've ever heard.
Okay, we're moving on. So, ranking teams. This is just literally how do you see the division going? I'll start with this one. I just see it going Cowboys, Eagles, Giants, Washington. I think that's kind of pretty
You just
standard.
picked Washington to... Oh, sorry, never mind. You picked them to be terrible.
Yes, I picked them to be
okay.
very bad.
Right.
You think you
That makes sense. I picked it
in reverse order.
I reversed the order. Yeah. No. I agree with you fully. I think that's going to be the exact order. I think to give records, I want to say, I'd say 12-4 for the Cowboys. I say 7-9 for the Eagles, 6-10 for the Giants, and Washington's going to go like 3-13.
I'm gonna go with as I've been saying, Philadelphia's gonna win a division with probably 11-5. Dallas will finish 8-8. New York would get 6-10.
They seem to be destined for the 6-10, 7-9 range.
Yeah, 7-9.
I'm actually gonna go hot take 7-8-1.
Wow.
Gonna get that tie
Who
in
are they
there.
going to tie? Who do you think they're going to tie?
Arizona Cardinals.
Washington.
I don't know. Oh, yeah. Next question. Team you'd most like to be the GM for 3 years from now?
3 years from now.
Yeah, so a little forward-looking, but not too much. 3 years is still...
I would like to kill Jerry Jones myself and take his...
Well, no. If you're the
take his
GM, Jerry Jones is your boss.
Well, he is a GM right now.
Yeah,
so,
but
right?
he's still the owner.
Yeah, but if I could physically kill him and take his
Okay,
body...
just pretend that he's giving you...
I'm going to take... Because there's no way you're the GM of the Cowboys and he's still alive, right? So I would...
Don't
That's
take this
true.
too literally.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That is not how
I
this
wasn't
question...
being that serious. But that's not a threat. If you're Jerry Jones, if you listen to this.
Well, that's the reason why I wouldn't want to be the GM of the Cowboys, because Jerry Jones would be my boss, and that would be my absolute nightmare.
So would you want to be in Philadelphia? And live
No,
in
I'd want to be.
Philadelphia?
I'd rather be the GM of the Giants. Honestly, you got Saquon, you got Danny Dimes, you got a
yeah.
couple young receivers,
Yeah, you got
good young defense. You got Evan Ingram. There's a lot of young
You don't
talent
want to
on that
coach
team.
the football team?
I don't know if the football team's going to be a football team in a few years.
No, they will. They got a good market there, but
I actually had the Cowboys as mine, just because I think 3 years from now they'll still be the most skilled team in this division.
Probably.
but you can say that about the Cowboys every year.
Yeah, well, maybe
Can
I
you
think
not?
my decision making is, or more likely, I luck into the year that they just happen to win the Super Bowl, and then I am a god.
That's every Cowboys fan, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, moving on. Personnel-based questions. Who's the biggest bitch in this division? There's an obvious answer, actually. It's Dan Snyder. In my
Yeah,
opinion,
agreed.
he is
That's
the
agreed.
ultimate bitch. Was my note on that.
That's not a bitch.
We can just move on from that because I don't
Yeah, I
think there's
think
anyone.
that's a unanimous decision.
Yeah.
On Stan's
Going to
side.
miscellaneous division questions. Number one, is Dak Prescott the Cowboys QB 2 years from now? Dylan, you go first.
Yes. I think they're so mediocre that he's like the ultimate mediocre player that will transition the Cowboys from 8-8 till 9-7, maybe 10-6, and might make the playoffs a couple years, and they'd be satisfied with that.
I think he will be, and it's kind of something that I touched upon in the previous episode. But the league is so starved for quarterback talent. Dak Prescott has proven himself to be above average, I guess, and that's all it takes to hold a starting job in the league.
Yeah, fair enough. I believe it too. And then I guess like just to stay on that note, then
Also, this little note, they spend a lot of money on other positions, so
spend money. Well, yeah.
shit ton
They
of money.
do spend a lot of money.
So then, I guess it's eventually time to sign him to that long-term deal. Like, have they completely lost this negotiation?
Just because like he thinks he is deserving of a lot of money, and I don't know.
He has
It's a
the leverage
quarterback
to
league.
do it. What else do
Yeah,
they
yeah,
have?
exactly.
Exactly, yeah.
It's a quarterback league, but like at what expense? Like, are you expending the talent around you?
I mean, if I'm his agent or like his representatives, and like you just look around the league, I mean, you look at Ryan Tannehill signing a big deal, Kirk Cousins a few years before
Get
that
your
signing
money,
big
get your
deals.
money,
I mean,
yeah.
he is right within that range. Ryan Tannehill having like a great season last year, notwithstanding,
Overrated.
You would
Underrated.
we got into that last pod, but you would say that like Dak Prescott's skills are at least kind of commensurate with those guys. So I mean, he's got big money ahead of him. The question basically I was asking then is that big money coming with Dallas, or are they going to let him go?
No, Dallas is going to keep him around. He's the face of the franchise going forward. He'll play there until he's in his mid-30s, I think.
Okay.
He's going to be their guy.
I think this is a big year for him too. Like obviously the contract year, but if they don't make the playoffs, question marks, right? It's like you guys said, it's a high pressure city. It's
Yeah, okay,
all
you're right.
eyes
But
are
like,
on
what are
them.
they going to do? Dump him and do what? Sign Nick Foles or something?
Who they got? Andy Dalton, man.
Andy Dalton is the answer.
The Red Rocket, baby. Red Rocket.
I don't even know. Maybe they just draft another guy.
They're not going to have a pick to draft a quarterback. They're going to be too good. They're going to have like
Tom Brady
a bottom
was a
10 pick.
seventh round
Oh,
pick.
sorry.
Sixth
I
round.
Sixth
forgot.
round.
Yeah, it was-
199.
Yeah. Okay, moving on. Who has the better career, Chase Young or Jadeveon Clowney?
I think Chase Young's going to have a better career. I think this
What-
kid's
what is
supremely talented.
Like what is Clowney doing?
Yeah, exactly. What is Clowney
Well, I'm
really
just saying,
done
like,
to impress?
Jadeveon Clowney, to go to his point, has been, I think, overall pretty disappointing for what he was supposed
The
to
first
be.
overall pick, yeah, it's
Yeah. I mean, he's a serviceable player,
he's
but...
better than Mario Williams, but
Right.
But I'm just
what has
saying,
he
like,
done really?
when you're talking about the freak defensive ends coming out of college and going in, being drafted really high, like, I mean, Jadeveon was on the level of almost no one else had reached. Chase Young was bringing up the Jadeveon comparisons.
Just a note, the way scouts scout rookies, Jadeveon Clowney had the highest ranking ever going into the draft. They said he's going to be the best NFL player ever.
Yeah, but I think Chase Young broke it actually.
Did Chase Young beat Jadeveon Clowney's score?
Yeah, I think so.
You're kidding.
I'm pretty sure. You could check. you
I could
fact
see
check
that. The guy's an unreal talent.
It was broken a couple times since then, but yeah, Clowney was definitely unprecedented, and then I think Chase Young beat it.
Like
this year.
the scale is usually from like 2 to 7, and Jadeveon got like an 8.
Odds that Chase Young is immediately the football team's best defensive player.
Oh, he already is. Before game 1, he's the best.
Can you
player
name
on the
another defensive player on the football team?
I cannot. And I have
There's
their
your answer.
and I have their depth chart in
team.
front of me.
They have Kendall Fuller. He's a good player.
Nah, he's alright.
Oh,
Matthew Ioannidis
he's
is a
no
good
Kyle
player.
to me. He's no Kyle to me.
He's no Kyle. Yeah, Matthew Ioannidis, tackle. Good defensive tackle.
I think you're just making names up now.
unintentional comedy, by the way, for the Washington football team. I read to prepare for this. I was reading a bunch of the Sports Illustrated team previews, which all go to their local beat writers who write something that's generally pro team for each one of them. The amount of teams that said that they conservatively thought they would end up 10-6 was incredible. The NFL is going to have at least 20 teams that end up 10-6 apparently.
I don't know where he's getting all these wins from because teams have to lose for other teams to win, 10 games.
The football teams guy did not believe that they were going to finish 10-6,
Wow.
but he did have this to say. The strength of this team is poised to be defense. My question is, well, that's relative because last year their offense was 30th.
Yeah, no,
their defense was 27th.
Awful. So, yeah, of course the strength's going to be defense. The strengths are going to be defense and special teams because their offense is abysmal.
The strength of this team is going to be tanking.
Yeah.
Next question. Is Daniel Jones the long-term solution for the Giants QB situation?
Yes, I think so.
You think he's a long-term solution?
Yeah.
I think he's a stopgap quarterback right now. I don't know if he's going to be around in 3-4 years.
Is he more talented than Eli Manning?
No,
not talent. Eli Manning won 2 Super Bowls, guys.
Eli Manning was also a number 1 overall pick.
Yeah. Eli Manning was again one of those generational talents. He's other than his brother is the only first of all quarterback to win a Super Bowl in the last 30 years.
I think I heard that stat.
Yeah.
But also when you look over, I know Eli was good and had some really good careers, but if you look over, really good seasons, but if you look over his career as a whole, it does kind of come out as being like,
The guy's a Hall of Famer for
it's
sure.
like Frank Tarkenton with 2 Super Bowls, man. It's very respectable. It's what else do you want him to do?
He's 6th all-time in passing yards and 8th in touchdowns or something. He's top 10 in every passing category, and he's got 2 rings.
He's also the highest paid ever NFL player.
Career earnings?
Yeah.
Really?
Really?
I didn't know that.
Even with Tom Brady's newest contract, 2 years.
How was Tom Brady not the? Well, because Tom Brady took pay cuts.
He's smart.
Because he's a smart guy. He wants to win Super Bowls.
He did not take a pay cut with
not Tampa Bay.
the Bucks.
Well, $25 million a year. It's relative to.
It's compared to what other guys are getting. It's low.
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes is getting what?
$1 billion a day or something. He's getting. It's nuts.
So I guess you guys are saying, what are you guys saying on that original question though? Long-term solution, yes or no?
I think he's not the long-term solution. I think he's a solid solution for right now, but going down the road, I think the Giants are going to have some bad seasons, and they're going to have an opportunity to take a generational talent in the first round, and they're going to take it.
It sounds like a generational quarterback is coming out every year, so I don't kind of disagree with Ryan's point here, but I think Daniel Jones they invested a lot in him. They traded up for, I believe, that pick.
Yep.
And
6th overall.
Yeah, 6th overall, and I think they're going to kind of ride with him. So long as Barkley's still producing, I think they're going to ride with him, even just for the bargain of his contract.
And you've kind of touched on my next question. Which running back would you rather start a team with today, Zeke or Saquon Barkley?
Saquon, for sure.
Really?
This maturity.
Yeah.
Here. Okay, I was expecting a little bit more Zeke pull there, but
Zeke's
interesting.
great.
Keep going.
Zeke's good, but
Fantastic
again,
running back.
the maturity of Saquon and just his speed, just watching Saquon play and just having that extra burst sometimes.
It's unbelievable when you watch him, what he does with the ball in his hands.
And he's a few years younger too. Running backs, only have.
He's better as a pass catcher as well, if you ask me.
Yeah, but that's not Zeke's game.
That's not Zeke's game, but I want a running back that can catch the ball.
Yeah, well, it depends what kind of style you want to play, right? And it's up to you, but yeah, Saquon's just again generational talent. So is Zeke, but not to the degree that you could physically see the talent on the field.
And also off-field issues.
Every handoff. Yeah, well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. The maturity.
Another big problem.
But every handoff, I feel with Barkley has a chance to hit the house.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, every time he touches the ball,
only other play I can
he
think
can
of
break any play
is
open.
AP.
Young AP.
Chris Johnson for a year was untouchable.
Chris Johnson was in that realm.
But who really?
LaDainian Tomlinson when he was younger.
Very young. I was very young for that. But.
Right. Okay, fair enough. I would actually probably go with Saquon as well. Just the younger running backs typically, always go for the youth on that position. Second last question in this division. Is Doug Peterson still with the Eagles head coach if they miss the playoffs this year? If so, how hot is his seat? Super Bowl winner with them.
Yeah, he's a Super Bowl winner, so it's hard to throw away a Super Bowl winning coach. I think even if they miss the playoffs, he'll be there next year, but his seat will be warm. More than lukewarm. We're talking a solid 38 degrees Celsius.
98 degrees.
It's warming up a little bit. He's going to want to be standing more than sitting on that seat, but...
regardless of how up or down you are on the Eagles' talent, I think anyone would agree that with a good coach and someone who's able to use the talent in the right way, this is a good enough team to make the playoffs for sure and potentially win this division.
Sure, they've got all the pieces they need.
Do they have the best quarterback in this division?
Dwayne Haskins is there, so
That's true.
no. I think Carson Wentz is overrated. I think Dak Prescott's also overrated. I'd put them on a
Literally
level playing
everyone
field.
on the Cowboys is overrated.
Yeah, that's true.
That's just the nature of the game.
Yeah, exactly. It's the media around them. But I think that Dak and Carson are about the same, if you ask me. I'd say 6 in one, half dozen in the other. They're basically equal talents, if you ask me.
Okay. Last question. Marketing cue for you guys. Just want to hear your opinions on this.
How many last questions do you have on this?
No, I said second last question.
Okay.
I've been counting. Last question for this division. Do you think the Washington football team would be well served to change their name to Washington FT, kind of like those classy soccer clubs you see? Like,
Well, when it first happened, I have a Redskins, football team fan, and
Friend.
friend, and
you have a friend of the football team.
yeah, and he's like the first comment he says like, "Thank God it's not football club," because it'd be very confusing for
Well,
him.
no, you can't do. Yeah, I think don't they
Yeah.
already have a Washington FC there, or I don't know. Like, is
They-
there
they-
Probably,
team
I'm not
name.
into MLS, but
No, they're not called Washington FC. They're called something else.
they're like DC United.
DC United, that's right.
That's the
yeah.
one. Yeah, so they
But-
could, that name's still open, but they obviously have to keep it. FT.
I'm sure it's not. Like, you hear that one guy who like got all the domain names for like every
Yeah, he bought,
possible
like, 30 of
game.
them.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
like it's a real estate guy.
Yeah.
He bought all these names, so I think they're just kind of like juggling a few names.
But do you think, like, I mean, here's my thoughts on this. I mean, soccer teams are generally seen as classy. I mean, because they're kind of like British and North America. It's like, ooh, the British people, you know?
Yeah.
Like, classy, sophisticated.
Washington
FT.
You gotta do a WTF?
WTF.
Well,
WFT.
that-
WFT, sorry.
Washington Team of Football.
Team of football. That's very confusing for us illiterates, yes.
But like 25 years from now, our kids, they'll be like, Washington FC, most progressive, most classy team in the NFL.
It's not
Let's get
creative
changed
enough.
to soccer,
They
man.
gotta be
It's
like
gonna be
Real
soccer.
Washington
Possible at
or
all?
like
Yeah, Real Washington.
Real Washington. I think is the way to go.
Yeah, Real,
Actually, that's such a
LA.
better name. Well, that's enough for the that's enough for the East. We're going to the NFC North now. So in the NFC North, we have the Packers, Vikings, Bears, and Lions. For those listeners out there, I am a Packers fan. Not nearly as devoted as Ryan is a Steelers fan, but they're my team, so I root for them. Packers are over-under by Oddshark, 9 wins. Vikings, also 9 wins. Bears, 8.5 wins. Lions, 6.5 wins. So, Ryan, I'm going to go to you first this time. Most likely to surpass expectations.
Oh, that's tough. I think the Packers and the Vikings are both going to surpass expectations. I think the Packers are going to win the division, though. Aaron Rodgers is going to be on a mission this year to prove something. He's still Aaron Rodgers. He's got a good team around him. He's still got David Bakhtiari. He's got Devontae Adams. Aaron Jones is coming into his own as a running back. Defense is pretty good. They've got a couple good corners. Jerry Alexander's really good. Kenny Clark's good on the defensive line. I think they're a solid team. I think last year they went to the NFC Championship last year, didn't they?
They did.
Yeah, so they put together
And
a
we're not
solid
that
season.
competitive against the 49ers, but
Right, but I still think in that division the Packers are poised to come out maybe 11-5, I think. So they would be my pick to surpass expectations, going over 9 wins for sure.
I'm going with the Vikings. Just because got some faith in Cousins. I think Cousins can throw a good deep ball.
do you think that Thielen can properly replace the value that Diggs brought them?
Well, the season before last, like, Thielen was the man.
Thielen's always been the better receiver of the two.
Last year you kind of sucked. I had him in fantasy, so I know. But
But he was hurt last year, wasn't he?
yeah, he was kind of off and on. But
Yeah.
again, you kind of like. I think he's a true number one if he plays.
I think so too. I think he's a premier receiver.
I think Dalvin Cook is like top 5 running back.
Yeah, I think so too. I had him in fantasy, and he did wonders for me.
Yeah, there you go. And again, Cousins could throw the football. Good defense. I think you have a stat where it's like, or am I just talking on my ass here?
No, they do have a good defense. They have.
Yeah. Did you have a stat about that?
Oh
or?
my god, that's what you're talking about. Yeah,
Yeah.
the DVOAs. Yeah, good way to bring that up. So this is Football Outsiders DVOAs. This is obviously adjusted competition. But last year, the Vikings 4th in defense, 10th in offense, and 14th in special teams. Just to make that note on the Packers, I mean, everyone knows them as an offensive team, and defensively, they've struggled for years trying to find the right pieces. Average defense last year, 15th. The Smiths have been really good for them.
Yeah. I mean, we're going back to the Vikings defense. They've got a ton of playmakers on that team. Harrison Smith might be the best safety in the league still. He's still there.
I think he's kind of aging, but yeah.
He's aging, but I mean, last year he was fantastic. You've got Michael Pierce, really good defensive tackle. You have guys like Daniel Hunter, still really, really good on the end.
Anthony Barr's still good.
Anthony Barr's good. Like, good linebackers they have. Their defense is solid. Their offense is really good. I'm high on the Vikings as well.
Who did they draft from Clemson?
They drafted a receiver.
Justin Jefferson.
From LSU.
I don't know his school. I just know
LSU. Yeah, he's a good replacement for Diggs. Same type of player, shifty, small player that loves to run routes.
Mm-hmm. He's from LSU. You're right.
It's good player. It's good to have a wide receiver that likes to run routes versus like, do you want to run your route?
The ones that don't run routes typically just throw me the ball. Let me do my thing.
I want to do a bubble screen every time.
If you're Randy Moss, you could get away with it.
Yeah.
That's true. I'll give you guys my answer, and I have the Bears.
Wow.
Okay, so hear me out. So the Bears' last 2 years have had a really, really good defense. Last year, their defense slipped, but they were still 10th, and they're poised to potentially do better this year. I mean, they still have Khalil Mack. That guy's a fucking beast.
Yeah, he's a different animal.
Offense, 25th, for obvious reasons. Mitchell Trubisky was a disaster. When you have memes of your quarterbacks like, can he throw to one side? I mean, that's an issue, whether he can or can't.
I don't think he can throw to either side.
Yeah, that's true.
Mitchell Trubisky's a fine quarterback. He just struggles with one part of his game, and that part of the game is the forward pass.
Yeah, I agree. I think, honestly, Nick Foles is
better as a rugby player.
Yeah, exactly.
There is no way, my hot take right now is there is no way Trubisky finishes the season, and I think he's officially a bust.
Well,
he's a bust for sure.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Well, okay, that's interesting because
Patrick Mahomes should
is Trubisky
in his grave.
I didn't know. I thought Trubisky was not actually the starter anymore.
He did win the job.
Well, I think he'll lose it. So my reason why he surpassed expectations.
Week 4 over under. What do you guys think?
Trubisky's gone?
Trubisky's replaced by Foles.
If they lose the first 2 weeks, then he's definitely gone.
Here?
You think so? I think no. I think they give him a little more leash than that. I'd say week 6.
They're playing the Lions Giants, so like they don't win back to back, and Falcons Colts. And then,
I mean, it depends on his performance in those 2 games. If he throws, 300 yards, 3 touchdowns in those games and they lose, not really his fault. But he's not going to do that.
They don't really have that much leeway to give Mitchell Trubisky. Like, I mean, this management core and everything, like a lot of people's jobs are on the lines. They don't have time to let him work through his growing pains anymore. They have a legitimate quarterback in Nick Foles. Who,
do they?
I think he's fine. He's going to be. Look,
he had a chance to win the job in camp, and he didn't. He lost to Mitchell Trubisky.
But again, you give the kid one more chance. You know that. Like you gotta be due diligent. Like he's a 3rd overall pick, second overall pick, ahead of Patrick Mahomes, MVP.
Put a pin on that because I do have questions regarding that.
Okay.
But just my reasoning for why I think the Bears can be the most surpass expectations is one, their defense could be the best in the division. And also, I just think regression to the mean with quarterback play. I think Nick Foles might be better than Mitchell Trubisky. You put him in, and he just does adequate instead of just maybe the worst starting quarterback in the league, or arguably so.
And that's an
increase
MO,
just
right?
there. I mean, that's like that. There you go.
But there's a reason why Nick Foles keeps bouncing around teams and can't hold the starting job. Because he's not a starting quarterback.
Super Bowl champion, guys.
Yeah, as a backup, and he did win the game.
He playoffs.
Carry them through the playoffs.
Yeah.
But he was not the start of that team. He didn't have that job until Wentz went down.
Okay,
he didn't earn that job.
Again, like what Chris is trying to say though, he could be adequate enough with a good defense.
He's shown flashes of brilliance,
which has
been
the Chicago Bears MO
more than
from
what
the
Mitchell
beginning.
Trubisky can say.
That's fair.
Yeah,
it's more than what Trubisky's done in his career.
The Bears MO is get an adequate quarterback, solid defense, play in the cold weather, and just smash mouth football.
Run the ball.
Do they have the 2 running backs? We'll see. Like, I thought Howard was good, but he's obviously didn't work out for them.
Mm-hmm.
But
the running backs David Montgomery and Tariq Cohen.
David Montgomery's a good running back. Yeah, sorry, he's a solid running back.
Bill, sorry.
We're gonna go to most likely to disappoint. Mine is the Vikings. Reasons being, you actually know that in Zimmer's tenure. Yeah, the reason being, fuck the Vikings. No, I don't actually care that much. I'm not a big enough Packers fan to truly care about the rivalry. Although I do just want us to win. under Zimmer's tenure. The Vikings have never made the playoffs 2 years in a row. They've gone make playoffs, miss playoffs, make playoffs, miss playoffs. They made it last year.
Consistency.
Yes, they made it last year. Is it time for them to miss the playoffs? That's just literally
That's just a
potential
pattern.
voodoo thing.
Yeah, it's a pattern we're seeing.
One with the disappointing thing. They were really good last year. But I don't think they're the most talented team in this division. They could also very likely drop off, and that would be exceptionally disappointing for their fan base.
They have so much talent.
They have really high expectations, though they do, and I don't know. I don't know if they're.
I mean, a lot of talent doesn't necessarily mean a good team, though.
That is true. So who do you guys have as most likely to disappoint?
What was the Bears over under?
8.5. But
Yeah,
also, you don't have to
way
feel. You
What
don't
was,
have
what was the Lions over under?
6.5. But also, don't feel privy
my answer.
necessarily
Yeah, no, I know.
to follow the over unders. This is just like kind of guide for the viewers. I mean, the listeners, and also maybe to refresh on what some people think their skill level might be.
Sure.
But your own expectations as football fans can suffice.
My expectations of the Bears are very low, so I'm talking about like what people expect of them. I think 8.5 or whatever it was is way too high. I think what Bears fans are expecting is not going to happen. I think the Bears are going to implode on themselves a little bit this year. I think Trubisky's not going to work out. They're going to go to Foles, and he's going to be just as bad, maybe even worse. And they're going to end up with like 5 wins or something abysmal.
You're really not a Foles guy.
Not a Foles guy. I think he's got a lot of arm talent, but his ability to read a defense is lackluster at best.
Do you not give any credence to his nickname where they speak affirmatively generously of a certain body part, especially because you made similar analysis for Mr. Drew Lock on Denver.
Well,
in
I think
a positive sense, you were very high on him. One of the reasons being this specific nickname.
There's no doubt that both Drew Lock and Nick Foles have massive football brains. But no, I think Nick Foles plays with a ton of confidence, and that's what I love about him. But the issue is he's not consistent in his ability to read a defense and find open guys. He's not consistent in his ability to win games at all, really. I mean, he had plenty of opportunities last year to prove something. The year before, he got paid big by Jacksonville, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, and like, what did he do with that? He lost his job to Gardner Minshew.
Within a year, yeah.
Within
Yeah,
a
but
year.
Minshew's actually was pretty good if you look
Yeah,
at the stats.
he has an even bigger football brain, if you ask me.
Oh, the biggest.
The biggest football brain. How often do you think that Nick Foles is trying to audible on the line to Philly Special?
Every time. You don't play for Philly anymore. We don't call it that here.
I can see that.
Chi-Town Special. It's the same shit.
Chicago does have some talent, like up front, like around him.
Yeah,
I think Nick Foles could shine. I don't think Trubisky could throw the football at all. So I think Nick Foles could throw the football at least to a degree that Chris is alluding to in terms of 8 to 10 win team with that defense, with Cleo Mack, with Smith.
Just don't fuck up,
With
basically.
Fuller.
Go in there and be a game manager and just
Yeah.
hopefully win the field battle with your defense creating hopefully a lot
Jackson.
more turnovers, right? Like,
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so we're going to move on to then just ranking the teams. I have a Packers, Vikings, Bears, Lions. Dylan, what are you thinking here? Probably the same thing?
I think Packers are the bust of the group.
True, okay, that's definitely possible.
Did
I
we
think
ask you about your bust?
No, you
I don't think
didn't.
we
No,
have
he
it.
didn't. I
So I'm
kinda
just gonna
so go for the
combine-
bust.
No, I'll sorry, I'm not trying to like say I'm going back, but I think the Packers and Bears fight out for number 2
Wow.
with like 9 to 10 wins.
It's
Didn't you
definitely
pick
possible.
the Vikings to be like the team to exceed?
Yeah, the Vikings
Yeah.
gonna win, but for number 2.
Oh, for number two, you're saying. Number two,
I
you're
think
saying.
Chicago wins like 8 to 9 games, and I don't really see the Packers winning more than 10 this year.
That's definitely within the realm of possibility. I mean, like, the Packers, despite being 13-3 last year, were not your regular 13-3
defense.
team.
Yeah.
They won a lot of one-score games, a
Yeah.
lot of tight games.
But that's
which-
what Aaron Rodgers does.
That's true. I mean,
He's a gamer.
if you look at a statistical
Yeah.
thing, then like there's variance potential on that, but also then you consider literally the quarterback they have. I think the Packers' true talent is much closer to like a 10-6, 11-5.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I said. I
team.
think they're going
Yeah.
11-5.
I think better defense last year. I think it'd be a little bit better this year. Well, if they do, they're a great team. But Aaron Rodgers needs to like stay healthy the whole season,
Right.
Mentally healthy too. With
No
Mr.
sulking.
Love, with Mr. Love behind him. I don't think Aaron Jones is going to be as good. and they haven't really found a second receiver there. Correct me if I'm wrong, but like Devontae Adams kind of regressed last year.
Yeah.
And
Well, he got hurt a lot. He was like
he got hurt. He got kind of like a
banged up. He was banged up
non-contact
at the time.
injury on a catch, and he kind of like missed a couple games. But have they found a second guy?
I mean,
like,
they have Devin Funchess is probably their second guy.
Devin Funchess.
Yeah.
That's a name.
Marquez Valdez-Scantling, Alan Lazard.
Lazard.
Lazard. Who did I like at one point?
Mercedes Lewis.
But
Mercedes Lewis still plays. That's hilarious.
you got a great defense. What's his name? The cornerback, Alexander.
Jair Alexander.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
good
a
player.
great player.
Yeah.
I'm pretty high on Aaron Jones actually. I think this year they'll just continue to start utilizing his talents as both a runner and a pass catcher.
He's fantastic.
He's a good. Yeah, he caught the ball well. But I don't know. I think it was a flash in the pan last year.
Aaron Jones?
Aaron Jones.
I think he's a good all-around running back, though. Like, there's no real flaw to his game. He's not bad at anything.
He is a warrior. But
Right. Okay, so that was your disappointing team, I guess. Like, then how are you ranking them then?
yeah,
Vikings.
so I'm going Bears, Packers.
No, you mean Vikings.
And then
Well, Vikings, Bears, Packers. Depends, like 1 or 2 wins. I
Are
think.
you just
in
doing this to
between them.
antagonize me? Really?
And then
You're gonna come second?
the Bears, and I think Giants
The
win.
Bears.
I think maximum of 2 games.
You mean the Lions?
The Lions,
Maximum
the
of 2
Lions.
games.
Sorry,
wow, really? That bad for the Lions?
Lions are bad. I think Matt Stafford
Matt
leaves
Stafford's still there.
after this season.
Yeah.
They kind of say, "Screw you. We're gonna take a Fields or again, Lawrence if he's there," and I think Stafford goes to the Cowboys
Why?
Why?
because I think that they don't sign Dak, and I think Matt Stafford goes to the Cowboys.
Well, you're going back on my question earlier about is Dak going to be the QB? in
I
two
said
years?
no.
said
I
yes.
said no. I said
You
no.
said yes.
Did I say yes?
You definitely said
Okay,
yes.
well, if Stafford
Well,
becomes a free agent,
but also-
Conservatively.
Also, but potentially he could still be right where Dak is not the QB next year and Matthew Stafford is, but then Dak comes back
oh,
and Matthew Stafford
Dak
is gone.
Dak is back,
Dak
baby.
is back. Baby.
Back in Dak.
Dak to the future.
Okay, Ryan, how do you see these division playing
I'm
out?
thinking it's gonna go Packers. I'm thinking it's gonna go Vikings number 2, and I'm gonna mix it up. I think Lions are gonna come third. I think the Bears are gonna be dead last in this division.
What's the over under in the Bears for you?
I think 4 to 5 wins.
Really?
Yeah, I think they're gonna be brutal with that great
And you
defense.
think the Lions are gonna win 6 or 7?
I think the Lions are gonna win 5 or 6.
No chance.
Yeah,
It's possible.
I mean, anything can happen in football. I mean, let's not just go by whatever the odds are saying. You know, they're gonna
I'm
be
not
the
go-
worst
I'm not
team.
going
I know
with the
you're
odds.
not. I'm
I'm
just
like-
saying we gotta pick an underdog every now and then. Like things happen every year.
I agree, but
I think this is a division
you're
that's gonna
sticking
be
with the Lions, the Adrian Peterson Lions.
Yeah, the Matt Stafford, Adrian Peterson, Kenny Galladay, Trey Flowers Lions.
Kenny Galladay, I give him.
He's a good receiver.
Who they drafted that halfback? He's pretty good too.
Yeah, what's his name? He's a quick kid.
Swift.
Yeah, DeAndre Swift.
Is that a pun there?
Okay.
Marvin Jones they have too. They have a good receiving core.
Yeah, they got some talent, but I think their defense.
Justin Coleman, Desmond. They have a good all around. Not a
Duquier.
good team.
But whatever.
Sorry.
Yeah, they got a good team. I just don't think they have.
They also got Jamie Collins
I
this
hate their
offseason.
coach too. I hate their coach. I don't think he's a good coach.
He's not a good coach.
So,
Patricia?
Patricia.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a question regarding him. I'll save it for a couple minutes from now. Quick question then, I guess. 2 playoff teams coming out of this division?
No, I don't think. Actually, yeah,
Potential,
I do. I think the
potential.
Vikings and the Packers
Especially
will make the playoffs.
consider the extra wild card.
Oh yes, I forgot about that. Yeah, good point. Mm-hmm. Definitely this. Definitely yes. I think Packers or Bears. I think Nick Nagy's on the hot seat if they don't make it this
Matt
year.
Nagy?
Matt Nagy said Nick Nagy.
Nick, too.
Now also Nick Nagy. That guy sucks.
Yeah.
I don't even know if he's related, but if there's a Nick Nagy out there,
You listen to this.
you're on the hot seat.
Yeah,
man.
you can
gotta
stop
watch
listening
out.
to this
Get
podcast
up.
right now because they're about to bash you, Nick Nagy.
Okay, team you'd most like to GM 3 years from now. I have the Packers. Start of the Jordan Love era. I'm ready.
Ooh, that's an interesting take. That's interesting.
I don't know if I kind of semi-believe that take. I actually have a question regarding that later, but
I think I would say the Bears. Honestly, I think if they tank hard enough in the next couple years, you can draft a really good quarterback and have a good team around him. All they're missing is a
defense would
quarterback.
be too old by then, man.
You think so? They've got young defensive players though. It's not like they're an aging
Smith
defense.
and Fuller.
Kyle Fuller's pretty young.
Yeah.
Khalil Mack's
Smith.
not old.
Khalil Mack's getting up there, man.
How old is Khalil Mack?
I want to say what?
I want to say he's like my age.
Let's say, what are you, like 21?
Yeah.
He's not.
Khalil Mack is, he's your age. He's 29. So he is getting up there.
Well, excuse me, but yeah, probably. I don't think he's going to be that much of a talent in 2 or 3 years.
That's fair.
Also,
But
Dylan, don't be so offended by your age. He's getting old. I mean, you're not the edge rusher you once were either.
I was pretty good. I was pretty good in touch, to be honest. But I'm not going to brag too much on the podcast. It's not my podcast.
No, you can brag.
But no, they have the other young guys like Eddie Goldman's pretty young. They have a couple other guys I want to say on their defense that are like young talents. They've got Eddie Jackson. That's who I'm thinking of.
Yeah. The
Eddie Jackson's fantastic. The safety.
Yeah, he's a safety or quarterback.
He plays both. I think he's more of a safety. He plays better as a safety. Akeem Hicks as well is still there.
Yeah, and yeah, I really like Smith, Roquan Smith from Georgia.
Yeah, good player.
Couple years out. He's a very smart player, and he will
Very
learn a
cerebral
lot.
linebacker.
Learn a lot from. We call him Nick now, or just Nagy.
Mr. Nick Nagy.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Nick Nagy's a good coach, but I think he's on the hot seat if they don't make it, and I think, yeah.
Okay, moving on. Biggest bitch in this division. Ryan, you can go first.
It's a tough one. I want to say Nick Foles because he lost his job didn't lose a job, but didn't win a job against Mitch Trubisky.
Big Dick Nick.
Yeah,
You're
but you can't call Big Dick Nick a bitch.
A bitch,
He's
yeah.
not a bitch.
You
so
can't.
even though he lost, he didn't win a job against a guy who can't throw the ball forward. It's not really a bitch move. It's just an embarrassing move.
I think that was just
I think the biggest bitch.
That was more of a
it's a courtesy. Fine, whatever. So my pick for biggest bitch is going to be Matt Patricia. I think that guy's a total bitch.
Yeah, I agree. But like Aaron Rodgers is the ultimate bitch.
Aaron Rodgers is a bitch.
Aaron Rodgers is the ultimate bitch of this.
He's kind of a bitch.
Can he even drink a beer?
Oh, he tried.
He definitely tried. But
who was it that stood
and
him
he's
up?
always so moody, and like, I love him. I love watching him. Don't get me wrong. Like if he's playing, I'll watch him. But is he not the moodiest quarterback, elite quarterback that you've seen in years?
No, Tom Brady's moodier.
No,
Yeah.
not moodier.
He's a baby.
Not on the field. You don't see it. He was
He's crying all the time.
As much as I hate him, he cries a lot, but Aaron Rodgers cries on and off the field.
Yeah. Aaron
And
Rodgers,
it
but he's so
affects his
frustrated
game.
with his shitty situation. He's so good and he knows it.
But I think he puts himself in. Yeah, he's bitching. He's
but like,
bitching.
wouldn't you be a little frustrated if you were him? If you were the best quarterback in the league, arguably.
His own family doesn't like him.
What's the story behind that?
Fredo.
What's the story behind his family? I never really got to the bottom of that. What the story behind his family?
He
just
just
not
was
really
a really
like him.
dick to his family. Like when he made it, like he kind of disowned them, and they kind of wanted to.
This
like,
is from The Bachelor, right? His brother was on The
yeah,
Bachelor.
that's where he told his story.
Yeah, but
Kinda
like
thing.
that guy's
They
trying to make a
used it
name
as
for himself
platform,
too.
Yeah, but it probably was a true story, and like Aaron Rodgers like openly said like whatever about it. So
Whatever.
if your own family kind of hates you, like it's kind of I don't know.
They probably
It's not a good sign for sure.
Yeah.
It's not the best sign. I'm not here to judge or anything, but yeah. He's a
No,
bitch.
you are. No, you're
That's
incorrect.
exactly what you're here
You
for.
are here to judge. You are not here to analyze.
Yeah, I'm not animal.
My answer for biggest bitch, two-parter. Either Ryan Pace or Mitchell Trubisky. I mean, Ryan Pace, like, his job is literally to make good decisions as the GM, and instead what he does is he gets played, he gets spooked about someone taking a quarterback before him at number 3, so he trades up. He trades 4 picks, including the number 3 pick, to get to number 2, just to take the worst quarterback in the first round, where he could have just stayed put and could have easily gone to Patrick Mahomes or Deshaun Watson. And yeah, I mean,
there's plenty of talent there. I mean, he made a terrible, terrible decision to move up at all, and then to pick an awful quarterback.
He moved up one spot. It wasn't like he moved up one spot.
Yeah, but
it
you're
wasn't
also
again
giving up-
66 pick, whatever. That's a Josh Rosen throw in, but like
67th pick, you can get value in that.
Yeah, it's a
I
it's
agree.
an early
It's a
third round pick.
Yeah,
early
fine.
third round pick.
But like again, hindsight 2020.
Yeah, fair. But like I was saying earlier, like outside of the quarterback position, they picked Trubisky. But even if they didn't want to go QB, they had Leonard Fournette on the board. They had Jamal Adams, Christian McCaffrey, Marshawn Lattimore, Marlon Humphrey. As you said, Deshaun Watson, Pat Mahomes. Also, Tre'Davious White was in that draft. T.J. Watt was in that draft.
Yeah, but you don't.
Dalvin
yeah.
Cook was in that draft.
You don't move up to pick a halfback.
No,
Number 2.
Juju again, Alvin Kamara, those guys were there.
No, you can say
don't
names
move up to take a
all
halfback.
day long.
But what I'm saying
not
is,
a Trubisky fan.
what I'm saying is, don't move up and take one of those other guys.
That's just a mistake. I wouldn't call him necessarily a bitch for that.
He got bitched.
He did show a bitchly tendency to get bitched.
This is a mistake. Did
Maybe
anyone else see
look.
Mahomes though? Like, did you see Mahomes?
I honestly thought,
attack
to be completely honest, I thought Mahomes was going to be a bust.
I thought Watson would be the best one. To be honest,
I thought Watson was going to be the best as
he
well.
was kind of killing it.
Yeah.
And he was an older one.
And
coming out.
I saw tape on Mahomes, and I'm like,
Yeah.
this guy has a wicked arm, but not much else. And I thought he
and
was
Andy
going to
Reid just made him into a monster, and
Yeah.
he's going to be the best quarterback we've seen in the next 10 years. So,
I had a question last podcast, and I'll just ask you, Dylan. Who's going to have a better career, Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers?
Patrick Mahomes, obviously,
Why obviously?
Obviously. That is a lot more confident than...
very obviously.
You think so?
I think Patrick Mahomes is a lot mature player for his age already. I think Patrick Mahomes could throw the ball wherever he wants, just as much as Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
I don't think Mahomes is as good as an improviser.
He is a good improviser.
He is good, but not
Have you
as
seen
good,
his-
not as talented.
Have you seen his
Yeah.
no-look passes?
Well, that's not.
Those
really,
are stupid. He shouldn't
That's
do
a
those.
gimmick.
Yeah,
He should really
exactly,
stop doing
exactly.
Yes, he should 100% stop doing those.
It's not really that efficient. Yeah.
Instead, just look at the open guy and throw
Yeah.
it to him. He's still
There's a
open.
reason why they teach you to go through reads and throw to open receivers, because it works. Closing your eyes and throwing it behind your back doesn't work out every time.
But yeah, he's again the talented arm, the great coach, the great system. Aaron Rodgers, he only has one. I don't see him getting another one.
He might.
He might, but again, he's kind of aging. What is he like 34, 35
He's
now?
37.
36.
Is he 36?
So he's got like 2 more years, 3 more years of, unless he's Tom Brady, which I don't think he is.
Actually, I think he just played his 36 season.
He's 37 this year.
37 now.
37.
In December.
So you're telling me he's gonna be
He's got 3 good years left.
3 good years maximum, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think he's that devoted to the game as much as Tom is.
And low-key, I mean, now you can quibble with whether this is a long-term
You guys
projection thing,
telling
but
me-
Aaron Rodgers has been, his numbers have, his like QB rating and everything has declined to closer to league average,
exactly.
average starting quarterback versus tip-top elite.
Does he not still hold the career
yeah,
QB
he does.
rating
He
record?
does.
Barely
Yeah.
now.
I still believe
I think
that.
Russell's kind of coming up on him. Actually.
Is he?
Yeah.
I
Russell
can see
Wilson's
that.
pretty good.
Russell
Okay, we're
Wilson's
going to
pretty
miscellaneous
efficient.
cues now. Does Matt Patricia make it through this season as the Lions head coach? Ryan, go first.
Matt Patricia, no. I think...
Is it because he can't wear a face mask?
he's got a litany of health problems preventing him from doing a lot of things.
Wearing a face,
But not
face
wearing a
mask.
face mask is not one of them. But Matt Patricia is even if the Lions do well this year, I think they're going to dump Patricia because he's not effective as a head coach. He's a great defensive coordinator, if you ask me, and I think that's where his talents are best suited.
But I'm
He
talking
should-
about whether he gets fired this season. Basically, does he make it through the entire year as the head
Oh,
coach?
do you
That's
think?
what I asked. Yeah,
I'm not before the offseason.
No,
You think
does he get
mid-season?
yeah, mid-season.
No, I don't think mid-season he gets fired.
Yeah,
I
but
think
he
he
was
gets fired
high on
off season.
Detroit. He is. High
I'm
on
not
Detroit.
high on Detroit. I'm just
He
not
thinks
high
he's
on
gonna
the
win
Bears.
7 games.
5 to 6, I said.
5 to 6.
Hey guys, we're done backtracking here. Just answer the goddamn
Sorry.
question.
Matt Patricia will have his job throughout the year, and I think he will lose it in the offseason. I think.
Dylan, thoughts?
He loses it. Yeah, for sure.
Mid-season?
Mid-season.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I'm with Dylan here. I think he honestly might be the first one to go.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
First coach to get fired this year.
If I had to guess, I think
Who's
he's
on the
one of
hot
the.
seat?
How about Bill O'Brien?
Nah. I think Houston's still
I
a
think
good
you don't
team.
make that. I don't think you make that trade if management
Yeah, I
doesn't
agree with that
have
too.
a little bit more faith in you.
Confidence,
I
You
yeah.
get the
guess.
playoffs.
But hold on, if the Texans start like 2-4 or something, Bill O'Brien is very much on the hot seat.
I think I think they give him a season because he made the playoffs.
No, he's got
last
more
year.
of a leash.
Matt Patricia
He's
has
got
done
playoff
nothing.
wins.
Yeah, but he's got a lot of talent, and Matt Patricia doesn't have a lot of talent on his team. He's in a rebuild team. I don't think they're expecting him to win the division.
We'll see how the Lions kind of play it out. Obviously, if they're winning games, he's not going to leave. But I don't see him winning more than 1 or 2 games for the first 10. So
You don't see them winning 1 or 2
1 or
in the
2
first
games,
10.
like yeah, honestly.
Okay, well, here's a counter question. If Patricia gets fired, do you think he finds a job as defensive coordinator by next season?
Yeah, probably.
He's on the Pats with the next
Belichick,
week.
Pats,
Belichick, yeah.
exactly.
Yeah,
That's
tell
the thing
me a good coach from the Patriots, but good coordinator, different story.
That's the thing about the Bill Belichick coaching tree. They all spread their wings, and when they fail, they come right back to dad.
Josh McDaniels.
Right back to Poppy.
It's a sit mentality over there, you know. That's why that's why Tommy Boy left.
Would you rather have Dalvin Cook or Aaron Jones?
Dalvin Cook.
Yeah.
10 times out of 10. Yeah. I think Dalvin Cook is a top 3 running back in the league, arguably.
Whoa, okay.
Top 5.
Top 5 easily. Top 3 arguably.
Top 5.
He's great running the ball between the tackles. He's great running it outside. He's a really good pass catcher. His blocking's not good. Aaron Jones is a better blocker. But Dalvin Cook is every bit the running back that I want on my team. He's complete. And I think with his youth and with his enthusiasm, he's going to be a top 5 running back for the next 5 to 6 years.
Okay, interesting. I just want to make a counterpoint on that. And that, I mean, their stats for the past season were pretty similar in terms of like their production, but
the stats don't say everything.
I know. I do agree that Dalvin himself is.
If you watch the tape, he's a much more explosive running back.
Yeah, and dangerous and.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll move on then.
Hold on. Does Dylan have an opinion?
I assume Dylan has the same answer. He kind of.
I'm not really crazy about Aaron Jones. I've said it before. So.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, does Jordan Love follow the Aaron Rodgers to Brett Favre succession route, or is he the Jimmy G traded away route?
Jimmy G went to the finals last year, so
I'm saying like
is that a hate thing?
What
I'm
he's
talking
asking
about,
is Jordan Love going to be the future of the Packers?
Yeah, I'm talking like you have Aaron Rodgers. Does Jordan Love pull an Aaron Rodgers on Aaron Rodgers basically?
I think yes. I think Jordan Love is going to succeed Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay. I don't think he's going to start this year or next year, but I think after that, Aaron Rodgers is going to walk.
He's 37.
Yeah, he's going to walk. He's going to have a twilight season on another team, like Tom Brady, like Peyton Manning. Maybe just 1 or 2 seasons on another team, and Jordan Love is going to take over.
See, I agree because at the end of the day, Green Bay is a small market team. They don't do decisions where they're trading away this young quarterback that they invested a lot for the old quarterback. And also, I mean, it's not Aaron Rodgers is not Tom Brady. I mean, in terms of the legacy that he left.
In terms of production.
I mean, in terms of legacy and production, Aaron Rodgers is basically right on par with Brett Favre. Both won a Super Bowl, both had a lot of success. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is better.
Yeah,
but I'm just saying about what they've done for the.
You don't think so? As a talent?
As a talent, yeah. I think I put Aaron Rodgers and Big Ben on the same platform.
Really?
I do.
That's a huge boost for me as a Ben fan.
You think so?
I think Aaron Rodgers is a much better quarterback.
Aaron Rodgers.
I think he's a way better quarterback than Big Ben, and I love Big Ben. He's my favorite player of all time. Achievements-wise, Ben's better because he has 2 rings.
Well, that's kind of my argument here.
Yeah, but
I think
if you ask me right now who you want on my team, if I could choose between the 2, I'm picking Aaron Rodgers every day.
Well, again,
can I just make a note about
1 year older?
2 Super Bowl things? Head-to-head in Super Bowls, Aaron Rodgers.
Shut the fuck up. You go away now.
Yeah, fair. But Big Ben's been to 3, Aaron Rodgers has been to just the 1.
Just the 1, right? Yeah.
Kind of choking.
Okay, so I think we're kind of all in agreement there. I don't think Jordan Love gets traded, not when he's on the Packers.
Not when they traded up 2 picks.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or whatever picks they
Okay, last question for this division. Is Matthew Stafford basically Phillip Rivers with less team success?
Ooh. No, I think Matthew Stafford...
He put up some huge seasons, especially early
seasons. He was plagued by injuries early in his career. But I think he cares today way more than Phillip Rivers cares about winning. I think Matthew Stafford he's a gamer. He throws the ball all over the field because he wants to win, not because he's trying to pad his stats. Whereas I think Phillip Rivers is trying to pad his stats.
So wait, are you putting Matthew Stafford in a more positive light than Phillip Rivers?
Yeah, more positive light than current Phillip Rivers. Because I think Rivers is basically done with football. I don't know if you guys watch a lot of Chargers games last year.
I disagree with this. But
I don't know if you watched a lot of Chargers games last year. I did because I had a bunch of Chargers on my fantasy team. And Phillip Rivers looked like he gave 0 fucks about football. He was throwing the ball all over the field for no reason, throwing picks.
But that's
like he would walk out. They'd be down 2 touchdowns, and he would walk out and almost intentionally throw a pick just so we could get off the field.
You think he's not a gamer?
No, I don't think
he's got like 16 kids. Like, there's no way.
He came somewhere, but it's not on the football field.
This guy finishes.
He finishes big time.
Yeah. So Dylan, then what do you think? I guess you disagree with Ryan there.
Yeah, I think Phillip Rivers is a gamer. I kind of like that similarity there.
Because there's only so much you can do, right? I mean, Matthew Stafford and Phillip Rivers, to me, both guys who like to sling it. I think Matthew Stafford, other than that brief time when he had Calvin
Calvin
Johnson
Johnson.
Jr. By the way,
I
do you
think
think
he
he still
won
has
one
wet
playoff
dreams,
game?
just
Not even.
dreaming about the days
I
when he
think
was throwing
every
to
NFL quarterback has wet
Russ
dreams
is
about
safe.
Calvin Johnson on their team. I think that's just a thing that people think about.
Yeah, he was a beast.
He was such a beast.
He was
Yeah, and then they haven't been able to put any talent around him.
No.
I mean, Matthew Stafford, not the best quarterback ever, but he's been serviceable for a long, long time.
Right. Well, like Philip Rivers had a ton of talent on his team for like almost
Yeah.
his entire career.
Yeah, throughout.
Yeah.
He had LT, and then like
He had LT,
going through
he had
different.
Antonio Gates,
Yeah, and then
He
going
had,
later in his career, Keenan Allen now.
Keenan
like-
Allen, Mike Williams, Hunter Henry's a great pass catcher, Austin Eckler's a great pass catcher,
Chris
Melvin
Chambers.
Gordon, Chris Chambers, like exactly. Like,
Yeah.
He's had a ton of weapons.
So now
And what has he
name the
done?
Lions guys, right? Like-
None. There's none.
Exactly.
Golden Tate. Golden Tate
Golden Tate
my
was
God.
good.
You had Nate
Marvin
Burleson,
Jones,
You had Galloway now.
Galladay.
Sorry, yeah.
I mean, there's guys, but
thins out pretty
Calvin
quick.
Johnson, obviously, but
No, but like obviously other than him, like
Other than him.
there was that moment.
Amendola's there now. He's got a
Amendola's still alive.
great ex-wife.
Oh, great
Beautiful.
ex-wife. The best part about Amendola's career is his ex-wife.
Yeah, well, exactly.
Okay, we're done with the.
That's a natural
I'm
stopping
just
point.
thinking about the ex-wife. No, really.
All right, we're moving on to the NFC South. So in the NFC South, we have the Saints, Tampa Bay Bucks, Falcons, and Panthers. Saints are the highest over/under at 10.5 wins. Then we got Tampa coming up the rear with 9.5 wins projected. Falcons at 7.5, and then finally the lowly Panthers at 5.5 wins. Dylan, I'll go to you first. Most likely to surpass expectations.
I like New Orleans. Sean Payton, again, great coach. Drew Brees, when has he ever kind of not reached expectations in a season?
But don't they already have high expectations? I mean, like,
Yeah,
really,
exactly.
can they
Yeah.
really exceed them that much?
Can
Well,
they shoot through the ceiling? Is the
I don't
question.
see a team kind of shooting through a ceiling in this division, but I see New Orleans getting 13 to 12 wins.
That's what I'm thinking too.
Yeah, so
They're a
that's-
really good team.
For,
They're a
for
really
10
good
and a
team.
half to get 12 to 13, that's great. Again, solid defense. Michael Thomas is there. They got Kamara too, like talent all over the place. Don't see him being bad. Even if Drew Brees goes down, they got Winston.
Yeah.
And I think Winston's a good quarterback, and I think he will shine someplace. But that's my take. It's New Orleans 12 to 13 wins again, and probably goes pretty far in the playoffs. Maybe Super Bowl too. So
Okay.
Go for it.
I honestly think that the Saints is going to exceed expectations. I think they're going to win more than the 10.5 they're projected. I think, to take it a step further, I think the Saints are my favorite to win the Super Bowl this year.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, that's who I'm picking personally. I think they have all the talent they need. I think they've been burned one or two many times in the playoffs recently, and Drew Brees is going to be on a mission this year.
I was just gonna kind of go off topic there and just say, I think Carolina's a lock for 5.5 though. For
You
over.
think they're gonna get that?
I think they're gonna get that.
Carolina.
I
Five
think
and a half wins. The first time they've ever got. You mean they're going to go over the 5.5 wins?
over, yeah.
Really? No, or they
ties,
get
no
go
ties.
5, 10
5,
and 1.
1 and
5, 10 and 1, 5.5 wins.
yeah.
That would technically be it.
Lock.
Yeah.
That's a lock. That's a tie for them for sure. The Cardinals, they play the Cardinals this year, but
The Cardinals gonna go 0, and 16.
yeah.
Does that equal
I
8 and
think-
8?
Sorry.
Does that equal 8 and 8 in the
Yeah, that
standings?
equals 8 and 8.
What? Okay.
Yeah. A tie is a half win.
Half wins. Yeah. That's a good point, actually. I think Carolina has some talent to play with. I think their head coach is, I forgot his name now, but I've heard some good things coming out of. I'm
I haven't
sorry.
heard the name, but
I
I've heard
forgot
good
his name. It's
things
kinda
about this
escaping me.
nameless man.
But I've heard some good things. He is a player's coach, so I think they have a chance to go. They get 7 to 8 wins, and with Bridgewater kind of at the helm, I
Right.
think they have a respectable team.
Interesting.
Matt Rule is the head coach.
Matt Rules, yeah.
Okay, Ryan, I just want you to finish on why you think that the Saints are going to surpass expectations. You said you had a little bit more on that.
Right, so I mean they're just a supremely talented team on the offensive side of the ball, and also on the defensive
Agreed.
side of the ball. They have Cameron Jordan, they have Taron Armstead. They've got a bunch of guys on the offensive line as well that are like really effective. Demario Davis is another young talent on the defensive side. I honestly think that just the system that they have, I think Sean Payton is a fantastic coach, and they're not going to stop until they get what they feel like they have deserved for the past 2 or 3 years. I honestly picked the Saints to win the Super Bowl last year as well. That didn't work out in my prediction, so it might not work out this year as well. But I think that they are, in my view, the best team in the NFC.
This is one of those. I don't disagree with you there. One thing on the Saints I'll note is when you talk about these teams, like, well, it's really dependent. They need their quarterback to stay healthy. Well, the Saints, they literally lost Drew Brees last year, and they didn't really miss a beat at all.
They had Bridgewater now in Carolina. There you go. But again, Winston's there, like I just said.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a good fallback option, I suppose, for in a pinch.
And you know who else they have at the quarterback position?
Oh, yeah.
Is Taysom fucking Hill, who is the most interesting player as a
like an observer of
as an offensive weapon.
But Winston still has more TD passes to the Saints players than Hill does. That's a fact.
And that's a hilarious fact.
Last thing on the Saints, I suppose. Last year, DVOA, 8th on defense, 4th on offense, 3rd special teams.
They were an all-around really good team.
Yeah, they killed it last year.
Yeah.
But my answer for this is actually the Falcons.
Yeah, I was going to say them too.
I thought you went with the Saints.
I did, because I think they are a better team, and I think when I say the team's going to win the Super Bowl, that is surpassing expectations of anyone.
That is true, yeah.
So I also think that the Falcons are going to do better than their projection is.
Right, yeah. Over under 7.5 wins. It's not too long ago that they were literally in the Super Bowl, and
I want to hear this though. I want to hear why.
I think just a lot of things have gone bad for them in the last few years. They still have a tremendously talented team, especially with Julio Jones and Matt Ryan.
You saying they're an unlucky team right now, or
I think they have been unlucky and just underperforming for some reason. Julio Jones can't get a touchdown. Maybe Todd Gurley does some things, probably not, but
maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Look, last year, 17th on defense, 15th on offense. 28th on special teams, DVOA, that is. They could maybe bump that up a bit. They're 7-9 last year, and I think they underperformed. I think this is a team that could potentially win 9 wins, maybe 10, and the remnants
sneak in the last wild card.
The problem with that is they're going to have to play the Saints twice. They're going to have to play the Bucks twice.
Okay, well,
how many wins are they taking from those 4 games?
Well, I guess that gets me to the most likely. That gets me to my next point. Then my next question is mostly disappoint. I have Tampa.
I have Tampa too.
I think that's a unanimous decision. Yeah. Tampa is going to
I think Tampa very much the Browns. They're the Browns.
They're exactly the Browns. They're building a super team with talents that aren't necessarily going to gel.
You know who they got today?
Who?
Rosen.
Wow. What a huge signing.
That's a big signing.
Massive signing.
They're taking the trash from other teams, Fournette and Rosen.
Fournette is not trash.
Well, to get cut from Jacksonville.
Got cut because he wouldn't play.
You can't really say football team anymore without referring to Washington, but they're the worst football team out there.
That's why he didn't want to play there.
Well, you think it was his decision to just be cut?
No, he said, "I'm not playing for you guys. Trade me or cut me." And they couldn't trade him. No one would give him anything for him.
Ryan is to the listeners out there. Ryan is just randomly super plugged in.
I know everything about all the players.
No, I don't think it was. It didn't go down exactly like that, but I think there was some egos involved there. I agree, but
I think Fournette has a huge ego.
Yeah,
and rightfully so. I think he's a very good running back.
I think he's okay. Yeah, I don't think he's
definitely serviceable. He's definitely
the guy had
quality.
Many games last year where he went over 200 yards. I want to say he had 2 or 3 games over 200 yards rushing.
Last year, or
last season.
Year before, he was great. I'll give you that.
Last season, he was the top 5 running back in the league.
Really?
Yeah.
I think he's more. Well, you got Dalvin Cook there.
Dalvin Cook and McCaffrey were 1 and 2.
You got Kamara.
Kamara was
he's in the same division. 3. McCaffrey, there you go, same division.
Yeah, it's a running back rich division now.
Well, you got. I guess we can just go to this.
You got Todd Gurley there too now.
Wow, yeah, look at the talent.
I think
in the backfield there.
We can just go to this now since you're bringing up the running backs. I had a start bench cut for this particular division. Start bench cut: Alvin Kamara, Christian McCaffrey, and then I also added in Dalvin Cook, who's obviously not in this division, but just to make it tough.
That is so tough. How do you cut one of those guys? I'm going to start Christian McCaffrey because I think he's the best running back in the league. all
Only the
around.
third running back ever to have 1,000 yards rushing and receiving in the same year.
Yeah, the guy's he's unbelievable at all aspects of the game, and I'm gonna bench Dalvin Cook and I'm gonna cut Alvin Kamara. I think Alvin Kamara is really good, but I also think he's very much a product of his system.
He
Not
kind
as
of
much as
regressed
Cook
a
is.
bit last year too.
He did regress last year, whereas Dalvin Cook exceeded expectations a little bit last year. And I think Kamara in any other system wouldn't be as effective as he is in the Saints system.
I'm gonna go Kamara over Cook just for longevity reasons. Don't see Cook playing another 16 game season this year.
Well, actually, he's yet to play a 16
Yeah,
game
he had
season.
to play. Yeah, so he played 14 games last year. I think 10 before that, and hasn't played a full season essentially. I think Kamara's a great ball catcher too. Mm-hmm. Same as
Very good.
McCaffrey.
Yep.
And I again, product of the system. I agree with you. You got Drew Brees. Kind of hard to argue against that, but he's just a talent on the outside. He's a talent on the inside too. He's a hard downhill runner sometimes, and he could catch a ball 5 years down the field.
Yeah. But also, Dalvin Cook is no slouch in the pass catching department.
No, he's not. He's not. But again,
But like you said, he's injury prone, and
yeah.
Kamara's not.
Kamara's kind of there. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't disagree with those.
Well, wait, hold on. Who do you agree with?
Yeah. Who are you picking?
That's true. I'll do Christian McCaffrey number one,
Yeah.
and I'm a big Alvin Kamara guy. Actually, I just think he's really, really good.
Okay.
And they're all really good, but I don't know, just like him better.
Those are probably the three best running backs in the league. So that was a very tough start bench cut.
Yes. Okay, we're gonna go back to the team-based questions really quickly. Then rank these teams and how you think they're gonna finish. Dylan, go first.
New Orleans.
Yeah.
I kind of see Tampa. Just went with like an 8-8, maybe 9-7 season. Atlanta's there, kind of following up with an 8-8 or 7-9 season. And I see Carolina on their heels with a 7. You can't go that high though, right? So because divisional games. So
Yeah, there's a lot of divisional
yeah,
games that are
sorry.
tough.
I'll see Carolina going 7 or 8-8, 7-9 or 8-8, and I see Atlanta being last,
Really?
kind of pushing the bottom there. Dan Quinn loses his job, and Tampa Bay kind of sneaks in 8 to 10 wins, and New Orleans, just runs away with it.
I think New Orleans is going to run away with it. I agree there. I think they're going to get 13 wins probably. Somewhere in that ballpark. I'd say 11 to 13 wins easily. Maybe 14 if they have a strong season. I think Tampa Bay is going to be second, but not in a close race. I think they're going to have 7 to 9 wins. I think they're going to be very, very disappointing on the season. Then third place, I'm going to put the Falcons. They're going to be close to Tampa. I would say they're going to be somewhere in the 6 to 8 win range. And I think, honestly, Carolina is going to be pushing for the Trevor Lawrence sweepstakes. They're going to be
Really?
Yeah, I think they're going to be awful this year. I think I'm pushing it. I think I'm generously going to give them 3 to 4 wins.
Worse than the Lions.
I think they're going to be worse than the Lions.
Really?
Yeah. You think Teddy Bridgewater is going to stay healthy and be effective for 16 games?
Again, he's a serviceable quarterback.
He is, if he's on the
You
field.
got Christian McCaffrey. You got young receivers. You got
Can you name them?
Devin
I'm saying they really don't have that
Devin
much.
Funchess isn't there.
Their top,
Ted
their,
Ginn still there? No, he stays
their
there.
Ted
top,
Ginn's 1,000.
their top
DJ
projected.
Moore is their best.
DJ Moore's good.
DJ Moore is a good player.
DJ Moore is
Robbie
good.
Anderson's there now, too.
He's okay.
Seth Roberts.
Seth Roberts is still in the NFL. That's hilarious. Curtis Samuel, another receiver they have.
Yeah, I see it going the exact same way as Ryan. Actually, I think the Saints are going to run away with it. I think Tampa's going to be a winning team. I don't think they win. I think they're going to win closer to 9 games, maybe 10 if they push it. Look, last year, low key, best defense DVOA in this division. They were 6th.
Yeah, they have a good defense.
Offense was 23rd, and we can get into whether you want about how Jameis Winston was absolutely horseshit for them, just throwing the ball away all the time. I mean, he got TDs, but he's just
got
Yeah, a lot
yards.
of those
You got
TDs went to
yards.
the other team. And that's
I know, exactly. So this is kind of similar to the Bears situation almost, where like addition by subtraction kind of thing. Just get rid of your really bad starting QB, and can Tom Brady, which I think a lot of people think he can do, can he just play serviceable, average Average
Got a lot of
starting
options.
QB.
He's got a lot of talent around him.
He's got a lot of weapons,
So,
but I
he
think
has no
they're gonna
excuse.
lean on him in the passing game a little too much. I think they're gonna ask him to do too much for what his arm can provide, and ultimately that's gonna be their downfall. They're gonna ask him to have a 5,000-yard season, have a 40 touchdown season.
I don't think he has a 5,000-yard season.
I know, but I think that they're gonna ask him to do this. They're gonna be relying on him to throw the ball late in games, even early in games. I think they're gonna move away from the run completely because of the talent
Well,
they
they
have.
got Fournette now.
They have Fournette, but they also have Tom Brady, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, O.J. Howard,
No, they have Gronk, baby.
and they have Gronk.
They have O.J. Howard gone.
O.J. Howard's still there, no?
I don't
He's still
think he's
there.
gonna play for
He's
them.
still there. I think
there was
Gronk.
some-
I don't think
there was some
Gronk's gonna
talk
play
of him
much.
leaving.
I don't think Gronk's gonna play
I think
much.
Gronk's gonna be a threat.
I think Gronk is gonna have injury problems all season because
He's
he
always
has
had
injury
injuries.
problems. Exactly.
Okay, we can get more into those teams when I ask some of the miscellaneous cues because I got a bunch for these. But really quickly, biggest bitch in this division. It's got to be
Michael
Tom Brady.
It's
Thomas.
obviously Tom. Oh,
Michael Thomas.
Michael Thomas is a
Whoa.
huge bitch too.
Michael Thomas is the biggest bitch.
He's a huge bitch. Yeah.
Big bitch.
Okay, maybe I'm like
I
not
haven't
as-
seen a receiver other than Antonio Brown, obviously, to go over the top about Twitter rants.
Yeah. He's
About
kind of nuts.
absolutely nothing.
I'm clearly not familiar with this part of Michael Thomas's
Really?
career. Yeah, I didn't realize.
If you
he's
make
big-
a comment on Michael Thomas's photo on Instagram or Twitter,
He will
will
respond.
comment and and let you know that you are a loser and can't catch 100 footballs in
Yeah.
the NFL.
Do you have 145 receptions this season? No.
No,
Go away.
Not yet. Yeah, I wasn't even talking about you. I like the jersey.
yeah.
No, that's a good pick. I mean, Tom Brady kisses his son on the mouth though, so like.
And he
it's-
also,
Yeah, fair.
anytime you have your own lifestyle that you're trying
But
to
he
push
did
on
leave.
people.
He did
He
leave
walked away
Daddy.
from Bill
He
Belichick
left Daddy, so you got
because he was sick of kissing Bill Belichick on the lips.
Yeah, but
Was it
bit of a
the
ball,
lips?
bit of a. alpha
It
move
might have
there.
been another part of the body.
But Michael Thomas, yeah, he catches like 4-yard passes and says he's the greatest wide receiver of all time. I don't.
No, yeah, no,
I'm
he's
not in agreement with
definitely a
that.
big
No.
old bitch.
Big old bitch.
Okay, well we got two bitches then. I thought it was Tom Brady, but I didn't know about this Michael Thomas thing.
Yeah, no, that's a good pick.
Okay, miscellaneous cues. Is this the most offensive firepower Tom Brady has had since the 07 Pats?
Yeah, by a mile. They haven't had any talent since the 07
Is
Pats.
it better than the 07 Pats though? The talent wise?
No.
No.
Randy Moss is still Randy Moss.
Randy Moss is better than both of them.
Yeah.
Prime Wes Welker.
Prime Wes Welker, exactly.
Oh yeah, Wes was there.
No, this is a really good receiving core he has. in front of him.
I just don't see Tom being as athletic as 10 years ago. or
No,
13
obviously
years
not.
ago,
But I'm
yeah.
saying it's
He's
just
talking about just the talent.
yeah.
I know, but to
Around
use that
it.
talent too, right?
Right, he's not going to be able to effectively use it. I don't think he's
Yeah.
going to have, a 50 touchdown season. But the question is, if it was prime Tom Brady with this receiving core, would they have
But
been?
Bruce Arians is a great offensive mind.
That's not
too.
actually. That wasn't actually my question. There it was mostly like. I mean, look, Tom Brady has obviously declined the last few years.
Yeah.
But like, look what was around him. A bunch of declining players as well. Now he goes to a system where these guys are in their primes. They have a ton of
Yeah,
weapons.
but can he use that
Can he-
talent still?
I think.
Yes.
Well, I think he can use that to his advantage. I think he's going to have the best year he's had in the past 2 years.
Can
for
he
sure.
throw?
Oh yeah, well
20
those
yards
past
on
2
the
years were
field,
not
though?
very good.
I
if
know.
you
I'm
ask
saying
me,
so
statistically.
improvements by Tom Brady, plus a good defense. Like I think equals a pretty.
They're not as good a defense as he had last year. The Pats defense is arguably the best defense in the
That
league.
is true.
Not this year because they lost a lot of guys, but last year they were hands down the best defense in the league.
That's true.
This
But they
year,
still have a good defense.
The Bucks are a good defense. They have tons of guys on their defense that are very effective. They have a lot of playmakers. They're going to get a lot of turnovers. But that being said, the talent on offense is abundant. They have Chris Godwin. They have Mike Evans, like you said, Gronk. O.J. Howard's still there. They've got Leonard Fournette now to run the ball between the tackles. This is the most talented offensive weapon system that Tom Brady has had since 07, I think, for sure. But it's not better than the 07 team.
No, I don't think so as well. They also have LaShawn McCoy.
Oh yeah, is he like
And Josh Rosen.
alive? Like is he? Oh, he's got Josh Rosen.
so-
You think they're gonna
Just in
run
case
that?
he wants to, like,
and Blaine
Not
Gabbert.
take a kneel
They
for
have
a
Blaine
game.
Gabbert too. Oh my God!
Gabbert.
Stamp their ticket to Super Bowl.
Okay, well, I guess that kind of jumps the lead on my next question, kind of. So Tom Brady signed for 2 years, $50 million. What is the furthest this Tampa team goes with him as their starting QB? Dylan, you go first.
I think they go to the playoffs. Like either this
what
year,
round? Specify the round.
first round they probably lose.
Wild
Maybe
card
That's
round.
the that's the
Wild card.
furthest they go. You think?
Furthest, they
the-
might
in
win
2
one
years?
game I don't see him going past second round, divisional round.
I think they never make the playoffs.
Oh, that's fair too. I think with the talent though, I think Tom kind of gets it done. He is, with all due respect, a complete gamer.
Yeah.
To the game, and he will get it done either this year or next year. But I don't see him going back to back playoffs.
Where, like to the wild card? Stay
Yeah,
consistent.
To get to the wild card for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, like.
Wait, hold on. Is this like
historically
the
shit
7
team.
seed wild card thing?
Oh yeah.
I think they could go to that game.
Yeah, they could definitely do that this year
Maybe,
too.
yeah.
And then it go like, what's the next round then? Division.
Then it just goes to division. Oh no, the wild card after that.
Yeah, there's only
Yeah.
one. There's only one bye team
One
now.
play-in game.
Only the first team in the conference gets a bye,
then
and
it's-
the 2 plays the 7.
That's right. Yeah.
And-
Yeah.
3-6.
So they may be a
They
7
definitely
seed.
make the playoffs at least once the next 2 years.
Yeah.
At least once.
And then be the 7th seed and play the 49ers in the first round. Like,
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, exactly. They get pumped. They get
And
pumped.
they're gonna get stomped. Exactly.
I think I'm not as low as Ryan is on these guys, but I don't think they make it past the divisional round in these next 2 years.
Yeah, so-
I think they'll be fun to watch, kind of like good clickbait, but I don't think they have the talent.
They have the talent. It's the
I-
question
like,
is,
sorry,
are
no.
they gonna work together?
I think they'll work together a bit. I don't
I
know.
think is Tom Brady still Tom Brady?
Not quite.
I don't think so either.
Who has the better season, Todd Gurley or Rob Gronkowski?
Who plays more games? That's a tough question.
over under.
Well, no,
6
just
for
better
both of
season.
them.
I know. Well,
Yeah.
whoever plays more games is gonna have the better season. And I think neither of them play more than 10 games.
I think Gronk does just because I think it's his last hurrah. I think he's gonna give it all.
And also, Tom is gonna feed his ass.
Tom is gonna feed his ass.
He's also going to pass to him a lot, too.
Yeah. Good one, Chris. No, I don't see Gurley being a real, like, even though I like him and I think he's a good running back, I just don't see him the durability with that knee.
You don't see kind of going back to his hometown, pumps him up a little
Yeah,
bit.
I'm sure
He's a
it
good
does.
old
I'm
Georgia
sure it
boy.
does.
He's
Good
from
old Georgia
Georgia.
boy, and like, but I don't see that like that knee's been a problem since the Georgia days. So it's been a lingering effect, and the Rams kind of like clouded that situation at the Super Bowl run, and he hasn't been the same since.
How dumb were they to sign that extension after the Super Bowl
After
run when
knowing.
they knew?
They knew, but like I don't know if they knew or they just had a thought that this might be a problem and they thought they could fix it.
It's like, hey, this running back might have debilitating knee issues.
Let's throw some money at him. See
Yeah.
what happens.
See what some money does to that team.
Maybe we need to incentivize him a little bit.
Yeah, it's invited him to work.
Get
for the
that knee
team.
fixed, boy.
Yeah,
I think.
What do you think is going to?
I think Todd Gurley has the better season.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think he's young
Gronk's
enough.
gonna
I
be
think
dead.
he's young enough that if the knees just kind of cooperate for 1 year, then he.
And like you said, it's like a victory lap year for him in Georgia.
Yeah, then he can be a game changing. I think Rob was kind of getting close to being a different player. Like
Rob was very much
he's just a
done
red zone
in his last 2
He's
seasons.
gonna-
Yeah.
I think he's gonna catch like 8 to 10 touchdowns though.
Oh yeah, he will. But
That's
he's going to
great
catch
for a
like
tight end.
300
That's
yards or
phenomenal.
400 yards or something.
No, you will never be that player again.
Okay, side note on Rob then. Also, how dedicated is he this year?
Oh, he's partying so hard in Florida right now. The guy is on
he has
every
co- he
yacht.
has COVID for
drinking
sure.
all the fucking White Claws in
I'm
the
just,
state.
I'm just hoping he doesn't get COVID before.
He will
He's
be
had COVID 3 times, I'm sure. COVID and a litany of other fucking diseases.
the Buccaneers being in Florida and also having Rob Gronkowski on their team are just going with the herd immunity idea. It's just like, this is what we're going to have to do because there's no other way to keep...
They signed Rob Gronkowski so we can infect the whole team with COVID, build immunity, and then they can go forward without having any issues with that.
And that's how Rob Gronkowski saved the planet.
And that's also how he died.
A martyr. Can Teddy Bridgewater be an above average starting QB in the NFL for a full season?
Who are we talking as average? Who's he going to be better than? Is like
What's the litnum?
the litmus test.
Litmus test.
It's not Andy Dalton anymore. It used to be Andy Dalton.
What is it?
Who's the most average quarterback in the league?
Okay, well, I guess according to Football References passer rating, the number 16 quarterback is Gardner Minshew at 91.2. Can he be better than that?
I
Or
think
around that area?
Gardner Minshew's a good litmus test for an average quarterback in the league today. I don't think Teddy Bridgewater will be better than Gardner Minshew this year. I think he will be not terrible, but not good. I think his passer rating is going to be below 90. I think he'll probably throw
Below 80 or
not below 80.
yeah.
Below 80 is pretty brutal.
That's pretty
Below 90.
Like, there
So
was only
last
two
year, then you're in
quarterbacks
the
last year.
Phillip Rivers, Tom Brady, Jacoby Brissett, Daniel Jones
I think it's in
range.
that range.
There's 2 quarterbacks last year that went below 80. Can you name them? One of them is someone I just mentioned as the previous litmus test.
I can name them, but I'm looking at
Andy
it.
Dalton.
Andy Dalton was one, and the other one was fan favorite Baker Mayfield.
Baker Slayfield.
Wow.
Those were the 2 worst passer ratings in the league.
Wow. Yeah, I see Teddy kind of eclipsing 85, 90 pass rating if you want to go like statistically average.
So you think it's going to be a worthwhile investment for them?
I think it is. I think it's a serviceable.
Timmy
like,
two, Teddy Two Gloves.
he was what 4-0 with the Saints.
Yeah, no, he was good.
So he was serviceable.
Was it 4-0 or was it 3-1 or something? He was good, though.
He was good,
but
he won the game.
I mean,
No, I think it was
Panthers
4-0.
aren't the
Was it
Saints.
4-0?
Yeah.
The fact is, I don't think that the Panthers picked him up to be a winner. I think they want to lose games this year. I think they're trying to tank.
You don't pay a guy $50 million to tank, man.
They're gonna tank and they're gonna dump him.
Okay, next question. Tom Brady is the blank best QB in this division.
Second.
Second? I was kind of seeing if anyone went third or fourth. It was a little bit more hot takey.
How is he worse than Matt Ryan? Is my question.
I don't know. Maybe you're high on Matt Ryan. I mean, Matt Ryan had a higher QB rating, passer rating last year.
Yeah.
I just think with the weapons that Tom Brady has.
Exactly.
he
With
can.
with those options, he's gonna
Calvin
be better
Ridley,
than Matt
Julio
Ryan.
Jones still good too, but no.
But Matt Ryan has proven, like, at past couple years that he's not an elite quarterback. He's very much closer to the Gardner Minshew level than the Pat Mahomes level.
Yeah, I agree there, but he's not. He's Big Ben kind of level. He's kind of.
Oh, excuse you. Big Ben is the future of the NFL.
No, he's not.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, a 43-year-old Tom Brady, I just don't know what he can bring. I don't know. I think
Just
he'll
for
be
1
fine.
year, we're talking.
Are you talking about, like, arm talent?
No, I'm just
Or,
talking
like,
about
physical
like,
talent? Or, like,
well,
game talent?
No.
Game-winning
I'm just
talent?
saying best QB.
Game-winning talent? Tom Brady does not like to lose games.
That's true.
He has such a hard-on for winning games that Matt Ryan just doesn't have. He's a different level of being an asshole. And that's why he's good. But he's still not as good as Drew Brees is today.
No, of course not. Okay, next question. Sean Payton is the blank best head coach of his generation. We're talking, like, say as a cutoff early 2000s up till now for coaches around that vintage. I can give you some. I did some research, so I can give you guys some, like,
Give me some names,
ideas.
yeah.
So Sean Payton has gone in his tenure since he started in 2006, 1 Super Bowl, 3 championship games where he's gone 1 and 2. Should have gone 2 and 1, and 6 division titles. So guys who are definitely ahead of him. Bill Belichick, obviously.
Yeah.
100%.
Andy Reid, 1 Super Bowl, 2 appearances,
Andy
7
Reid had
championship
some
games.
troubles
He's
in
been
Philly.
to 7 championship games, 2 and 5 in those, won 10 division titles.
Yeah, 2 and 5 is not a good record.
He's
That
on,
is true.
Yeah, but he's on
But-
par with Andy, I think.
I think he's very good, though. Yeah.
But
I'd
would
put him on par with
you
Andy
give
Reid.
the edge to Andy Reid over Sean Payton?
Currently, yes.
Currently, for the single reason that Andy Reid's system that he built in Kansas City is revolutionary.
Yeah,
And Sean Payton hasn't...
and it's working right now. It's working.
Exactly. And Sean Payton hasn't produced enough in terms of accolades to...
And he's only really had Drew Brees, too. Like
yeah, but, like, Drew Brees is Drew Brees.
We've talked
man.
part of the. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's part of the talent there. It's
Yeah.
like.
But, like, Andy Reid also was in Philly for so long and was
Right.
truly disappointing.
Been to Super Bowl with Donovan.
Went to a Super
Went
Bowl
to
and lost.
3
Yeah.
straight championship games.
Three
too.
championships,
straight championship
yeah.
games.
With
I mean,
And-
that's a big deal.
But
But
the whole thing with Andy Reid was his failure to win in the playoffs. Failure
Yeah.
to go to the Super
And
Bowl.
then
and
win
win.
and
the Super
also
Bowl this year.
late game management. He also struggles
Struggles with
famously struggles
timekeeping.
with that. Yeah,
Like,
Struggles
which
with
is one of the
timeouts,
main
yeah.
things as a coach. you
Yeah,
gotta
it's
be
like
doing.
one of the most important things you have to deal with.
That's what Belichick is the best at. It's one of the reasons why.
But Belichick would do like crazy shit, like punt on 3rd down and shit, just for time. Like, it's crazy what he does to manipulate the clock.
Here, I'm going to add some other names just to put it in the context. So other guys who are around him. Mike Tomlin, also won Super Bowl,
Better than Tomlin.
2 appearances.
He's better. I would put him on par with
Three
Tomlin.
championship games. He's gone 2-1 in those championship games. Also 6 division titles. And then finally you have John Harbaugh. 1 Super Bowl, 3 championship games, 1-2 record,
Harbaugh's
4
good.
division titles.
Harbaugh's a good coach too. As much as I hate the guy, I respect his skills as a coach. I would put Sean Payton ahead of him. I would put Tomlin and Harbaugh on the same
You
playing
put Tomlin,
field.
so he's saying Tomlin's number 3 of this generation.
No. Hold on. I'm putting Payton ahead of Tomlin and Harbaugh.
Okay.
I'm saying
Okay,
Payton's
so
three.
number 3.
Yeah.
I agree
I
with
would
that.
say Tomlin and Harbaugh are 4 or 5. They could share 4 and 5.
I agree with that.
They can share. Will Trevor Lawrence and Christian McCaffrey be the best QB running back duo 3 years from now?
Oh God, if he goes to
You
Carolina,
guys are really that low on Carolina.
Carolina's gonna be brutal, dude.
No, man. I think they're gonna win a few games.
I don't know if they're gonna
3.
win a few games. They're gonna win 3 games.
You think Christian McCaffrey goes off in the good night and just throws the season?
Yeah, because then he's gonna get Trevor Lawrence. They're gonna win a fucking Super Bowl.
The guy
5
got
times in a
paid,
row.
so now he doesn't have to worry about putting up the big stats anymore. I mean, if we're putting it that way. But
Yeah.
If he's
I don't
that
know.
selfish. But he's not that kind of guy.
Yeah.
Christian McCaffrey.
No, he's a gamer.
He's a gamer. I think Carolina is gonna be in the sweepstakes for Trevor Lawrence. I don't know if they're gonna come dead last. I don't think they're getting more than 5 wins. I think Jacksonville is gonna push very hard for that spot. A couple other teams might.
Football team.
Football team, exactly. They're gonna push hard for that spot as well. But I mean I don't think Carolina's going to do anything to impress anyone this year. Teddy Bridgewater's going to be fine, but he's not going to win games late.
Yeah. That was just kind of that was just a probing question to see. what
Yeah,
you guys-
no, I think Trevor Lawrence and McCaffrey on the same team. When I play Madden, I'm playing as that franchise.
Okay, this is the last question for this division. Is my personal favorite. As a fan, what would you rather have happen to you? 1, the Falcons Super Bowl collapse, or 2, a double whammy of the Saints 2 straight years with the Minnesota Miracle and then the non-pass interference call versus the LA Rams. What would you rather suffer?
Oh, okay. I think the Saints are big old bitches for that non-pass interference call because
Like
they
you
did the
talked
exact same thing to the Steelers in the last week of the season,
my
and it
God.
cost us a playoff spot. And I will never forgive them for that. And I think they got justice with the non-pass interference call. That was justice in the
Karma.
making.
It's karma. Ball don't lie.
It was karma. Ball
lie.
don't lie. Exactly, like what we said today. Ball don't lie. And there's no way I would ever want to suffer what the fucking Falcons went through. I would have. I would have killed
That
myself.
would have killed myself.
Yeah.
That broke.
If
that
that happened to the
broke the team.
Steelers, I'm done. I'm never watching football again.
To put it into perspective to the listeners out there, how passionate a Steelers fan Ryan is, I remember watching that Ravens Super Bowl game where he literally could not watch after
I
the
refused to watch the
he
game.
refused to
Once
watch
they
it.
went out to that lead, I was done.
Yeah. So now think about his team losing like in such a painful
Well, hold
fashion.
on.
but
To counter that, I hate the Ravens more than I love the Steelers.
that's true. Well, that's the sign of a true sports fan. Hatred is what brings us together.
Hatred is
not love.
exactly. It's a much stronger emotion than love.
My second favorite team is whoever plays the Patriots. So
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, but so you'd rather suffer than if you had to choose, you'd rather do Minnesota Miracle.
I'd rather do that. 100%. The Falcons collapse was
Dude, but 2
more than
straight years, I
embarrassing.
mean,
It happens, dude. It
Yeah.
happens.
yeah, it happens. It happens. But,
The Falcons
to
thing does
lose
not
to-
happen.
Yeah, and to be there like once and like forever. pretty much.
I'm still
Since
convinced
97.
there was cheating in that game that allowed the Patriots to win.
Yeah, I think Edelman screwed up the lights there to kind of show that
He
he
probably
caught that
did
pass.
something, yeah.
Something.
And the Kyle Shanahan playbook being missing for 3 hours before the game, that
Yeah,
that was
they
kind of
did go up a
fucky.
lot.
What kind of
though.
like
It's
what kind of like
24-3.
deep dive stuff are you looking at for all these conspiracy theories?
No. This was reported before the game even started. That Kyle Shanahan's playbook was missing, and they couldn't find it.
It was.
It was, and it mysteriously appeared right before the game, just enough time for someone to photocopy it. And that's my theory, personally.
Fair enough. I mean, to give credence to that, Bill Belichick will cheat to a win no matter what. He doesn't care when
He's
he gets
proven
caught.
that he's willing to do whatever it takes.
If he gets caught, he's like, fine, I'll just try not to get caught next
whatever,
time.
no more first round draft pick. Who cares?
Yeah, after winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah, exactly. I'll trade my first round draft pick for a ring any day of the week.
Okay, so Dylan, I guess I didn't get your answer on that. What would you rather suffer?
Oh, I'm 100% with Ryan. You can't lose that game after like 30 years. not being-
Unbelievable. Yeah.
And to like go in at half knowing you probably gonna win Super Bowl and like waking up. It'd be like a nightmare.
It was going into the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
of
exactly.
2023.
Yeah, exactly. Like it'd be a night. Like I would relive that scenario over and over in my head.
Even if I just
I would
bet on
probably
the
quit.
game.
I would probably quit watching football.
At least with
Yeah.
the Saints, they could say, "Oh, we're cursed," whatever it is, and
Like, imagine you bet on the Falcons that game. I was watching the game with someone that bet $5,000 on the Falcons. And when
this
they
is
were
a
up
great
28-3, he was so happy. This guy was buying drinks for everyone. This guy was smoking cigarettes in the bar. He was just on fire. And then the game collapsed.
He jinxed that.
He jinxed it.
He
And then when it went to overtime, when they converted that 2-point conversion to send it to overtime, this guy just left. He knew it was over.
Oh, it was over.
The Falcons were not winning this game.
But yeah, when Hightower just fumbled that ball, like it was over.
Yeah, no, but I felt for that guy, and he was not even a Falcons fan. He was just a guy that put money on the game. If you're a Falcons fan, imagine how much more that would hurt. I wouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah,
I would renounce football, denounce the sport.
I denounce it. Okay, well that's it for that division. Now we're moving on to our final division, NFC West. So the NFC West is obviously led by last year's Super Bowl representee from the NFC, the 49ers, who are projected over-under by OddsShark to have 10.5 wins. The Seahawks, their over-under is 9 wins. Same goes for the LA Rams, 9 wins over-under. And then finally we have the Cardinals with projected 7.5 wins. In general, people are pretty high on the teams in this division. So I'll lob this to you first, Ryan. Most likely to surpass expectations in this division.
I think the Seahawks are gonna surprise some people this year. I think they're gonna have a really good year. I think Russell Wilson is poised for a deep run in the playoffs. I think their defense is still very good. Not as good as San Francisco's, mind you, but still excellent in many respects.
Can I interrupt you really quickly on that defense thing?
Sure.
Last year, DVOA, 21st in defense for the Seahawks.
Right, but they also added Jamal Adams in the offseason.
That is also true.
That is a massive addition to a team that was starved for a safety. They have Jamal Adams. They have Bobby Wagner, who is by all respects a top 5 linebacker in the league. Still, they
lost Clowney.
They lost Clowney, but not a huge loss. Clowney was okay.
Who's gonna rush on the outside now?
But I mean, they don't have to rush on the outside. They have a good secondary. They can contain. They can just contain. They're not gonna be the Niners on defense. They're not gonna be a pressing force, but they're gonna be able to keep teams to 21 points. And I think that's all they need for Russell Wilson to win games. I think they have a few good guys. They got KJ Wright. They have Jaron Reed, who's a pretty good defensive tackle. And like I said, Jamal Adams is a huge addition. They have a Shaquille Griffin, really good corner, he'll shut down a receiver or two every now and then, and that's all they need to be solid on defense. I think they were 21 last year or 22?
21st.
Yeah. Okay. So I think this year they'll be like 16 or 15 on defense, but Russell Wilson, I think, is a very, very good quarterback. He is not as good as a lot of people think he is. I don't think if we're talking like Madden ratings, Madden has him as like 97 overall, which is like the second best quarterback in the league. I don't think he's that good.
What is he top? Well, he's top 5. Right?
I'd say he's top 5, easily top 5.
I think he's that good.
You think he's the second best quarterback in the league?
I think so. I'll take him. I'll probably take him first overall if I
over Pat Mahomes.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Mahomes, and then
I'd take him first overall, other than the guy who I would actually take first.
I was just thinking NFC. Sorry.
Right.
Sure.
I'll take him over Drew Brees. I'll take him over Tom.
You take him over Drew Brees.
Oh, yeah.
I would take Drew Brees over Russell Wilson.
No.
Yeah.
I would actually probably take Russ. In
mean,
a vacuum, I'd probably take him over.
The thing is that Russ can improvise a lot better than Drew Brees can. That's a huge aspect of his game. And Drew Brees, I don't know if you guys know this, but in the past 2 seasons, he hasn't completed a pass more than 40 yards down the field.
I didn't.
That's a crazy stat for Drew Brees. He doesn't do that. He doesn't throw the ball 40 yards because he doesn't have the arm for it anymore.
Yeah.
Whereas Russell Wilson will throw 40 yards running to his left, chuck it across the field, more than 40 yards down the field, and complete a pass to a 5'11" receiver.
He doesn't need the talent either. He could just do it with whatever, like what he has around him.
Right. Well,
He'll
that's what I'm
figure it
saying.
out.
Like Russell Wilson is that kind of guy
Yeah.
that they will exceed expectations. I think. I think obviously the Niners are a very good team. They're going to make the playoffs. They're probably going to win the division. But of those 4 teams, which one I think is going to surprise people? I think it's going to be the Seahawks.
Your thoughts, Dylan?
I think, I'm in agreement. I think, like what you said, good defense gets a little bit better. Russell Wilson is a stud, I think. Like, again, it's my pick for top 3 quarterback in the league. But I see them winning the division, so...
Wow. They're going to beat the Niners.
I think they're going to beat the Niners just because I think Russell Wilson figures it out this year, stays healthy.
Well, there's not much to figure out necessarily.
No,
I mean, they had the
but, like-
5th offense last year.
yeah.
No,
No, Russell Wilson's that
Yeah.
good.
He's figured it out.
Yeah, he had, but he said, like, what, yeah, he has those rings, too, and
Ring.
Single.
Rings, been to 2,
Singular.
should have had 2.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda.
yeah.
If only Belichick didn't
If you
cheat.
could hand off the ball, he'd have 2.
Cheated in that one as well.
100%. They had the playbook for that last play, and they said, you know what? We're not going to let them have this one. We know what this is going to be. We know it's going to be a slant. Let's just pick it off and end the game.
Yeah, but I think, Pete Carroll's great coach. I don't think he said that. So
Right.
Carroll will kind of, again,
To that point,
Yeah.
Pete Carroll should be in the mention of the previous
he's
top
up there
5
with
coaches.
Tomlin. He's up there with Tomlin.
You know, I'd say he's better than Tomlin, honestly.
Sean Payton.
He's
Is
better than Harbaugh.
Him or Sean Payton?
Him and Sean
That's
Payton
true.
are on the same level.
Questionable,
I think they fight for third.
That's
Yeah.
true. That was an oversight on my part.
Yeah. Pete Carroll's a fantastic coach.
So again, I definitely see Seattle winning 12 to 14 games. I think they're really good. I see them kind of.
12. You think they can win 14 games in
I-
that division?
I think so. Like
I don't think they
see
can win
them
14
splitting-
games.
I see
That's
them splitting
very
with San
ambitious.
Fran. I see them splitting with San Fran.
I could see them splitting with San Fran.
And
I think also
they
they're
make the
going to lose. They're
playoffs.
going to drop a
They
game
make
to the
the
Rams,
playoffs.
probably.
Sorry.
They're going to drop a game to the Rams because it's going to be a tough divisional game.
Yeah, fair. But in terms of the playoffs too, I see Russell Wilson kind of shining this year.
Yeah,
and
because he's battle tested. He's a playoff quarterback.
Exactly. He, like again, cliche, but kind of figures it out and realizes like who's around him and DK.
DK's awesome.
Yeah, he's gonna be a stud this year. So
And they also have Tyler Lockett, who's a really good receiver.
Yeah.
Save your wide receiver talks because I actually have a question regarding that stuff within the division.
Okay.
But I'll just say that my answer for this is the Arizona Cardinals.
Do you think the Cardinals are going to be good?
I think they could be average. I think they could maybe be.
Is that exceeding
team.
expectations, though?
Yeah, a little bit. Look, I think they're poised
well,
to have a
7 wins though was there.
well.
Do you think they're going to win more than 7 games? We just said they're going to go 0-16. Like that's a fact.
Oh shit! I didn't realize
Yeah,
that was
they're
already,
a tie
I
team.
didn't realize that was already.
But that is
preordained.
8 wins. That would technically be exceeding expectations if they go
That's true.
0-16.
I think they could look.
that would be very
there's
high
a-
on expectations from everyone to go 0-16.
I
That
don't
would be
think-
amazing.
Yeah.
I don't think there's like an unrealistic chance that the Cardinals come third in this division over the Rams necessarily.
Really?
Not unrealistic. I don't think it's technically going to happen.
I
but,
don't
like,
think on any position are they better than the Rams. Receiver, fine. They've got DeAndre Hopkins, who just blows the competition out of the water.
I don't know. I just think they're poised to have like a really explosive offense this year, and they have some pretty good
Chandler
defensive
Jones
players.
is still-
Chandler
Chandler
Jones.
Jones is still Chandler
Still a
Jones.
top
Buda,
5
Buda Baker.
rusher.
Patrick Peterson's still there. He's not what he used to be, but he's still a good corner.
I'm just talking about like if you're like there's a world in which the Cardinals. I mean, if you have another step taken by Kyler Murray, and DeAndre Hopkins really like helps them.
Fair. Do you think Kenyon Drake is a true number 1 running back?
It's probably not. Well, he's not ideal.
He's not ideal, but is he? Can he carry a backfield? Because that's gonna. I think the Cardinals' season's gonna hinge very much upon Kenyon Drake's ability to carry that backfield.
No, it's on Kyler Murray, I think.
I know, but Kyler Murray is still very young and raw as a prospect.
Yeah, exactly.
He's going to have to rely on his backfield. And Kenyon Drake is a solid running back. I think he's a solid number 2 running back. Chase Edmonds.
always been a number 2,
Chase
right?
Edmonds is also a good running back.
Can I ask you a question on like whether their season revolves around a running back? How often do teams, when they don't have a really good running back, have their season revolve around their running back, where it's like the big swing point? I think like
Well, hold on. You're right about that. It usually doesn't revolve on the running back. But Kyler Murray is a run-first quarterback.
That is true.
He's not a throw-the-ball-down-the-field type quarterback. He's very much going to rely on his system, his offensive line, which isn't great, and his backfield. And his backfield isn't that good. It's okay at best. I would say it's a top 20 backfield in the league with Kenyon and Chase Edmonds.
Isaiah Simmons, though, on their pick was a great pick, I think.
That's a good pick.
He's going to
Right.
work out for them.
Well, we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. I just wanted to mention them. I think
It's
there's
a good
chance
take.
that
It's a good take.
Yeah. Although I do believe that they are the worst team in this division.
They
It's
are
just
the worst team in
by
the
talent level. But maybe it's football.
But that's why
weird shit happens.
That's why you were saying they're going to exceed those expectations.
I know, exactly.
They're not going to be that much worse than the other teams in the division.
Yeah. Most likely to disappoint. Dylan, you go first this time.
I'm going to say Arizona.
Okay.
How could they disappoint?
Disappoint? You said 7.5 wins, man.
No, but
Well,
that's
yeah,
the
but that's-
odds.
That's based on
Do
betting.
you
I
think
mean,
anyone in the division is going to be disappointed if they come
Well,
last?
is that or the Rams?
I think it's the Rams.
You gonna say Rams would come last?
No, but I think they're going to disappoint. They're going to miss the playoffs.
Yeah, but like,
I think the
I don't
Rams are
know,
going to miss the
questionable,
playoffs,
questionable.
and that's a disappointment. I think if the Cardinals miss the playoffs, it's not a disappointment for their team.
I just don't see the Cardinals surpassing 7 wins.
Yeah. I don't see them
I don't
surpassing
see Kyler
6.
Murray kind of excelling as much as like a Lamar Jackson is.
Oh, God.
Yeah, no
He's not going to be MVP.
even though he has Hopkins now, whatever it is, again, it's dependent on the system. He is kind of like a Drew Brees, kind of the smaller quarterback, just relying on his offense to kind of
Sure.
figure it out around him too. Their defense, other than Simmons, hasn't really improved that much.
No. Their defense is very
I would like to
lackluster.
know what
was their DVOA?
what was their DVOA. Yeah,
defense was 20th last year. Offense 13th. Special teams 26th.
Their offense was 13th.
That is
so
true.
yeah, they're
That's
decent
pretty
offense.
good.
Yeah.
And now they added a really, really good piece.
Christian Kirk is not. It's not.
He's a good receiver.
He's
I like
a good
Christian
young
Kirk.
guy. So, but yeah, I just don't. I don't like Kingsbury.
No, Cliff Kingsbury.
I don't like Kingsbury.
He's a bit of a wild card.
He's
in
a
the
bit of a
coaching
wild
department.
card. You need a consistent coach to kind of win 10 games there. So
Yeah.
I don't see them doing that in the next 2 years.
Right.
So
Okay. Your go, Ryan. Most disappointing.
Most disappointment, I'm saying the Rams.
Right.
Even though I like Jared Goff, I think he's a super talented guy. I think that the issue is they're just not. They're going to rely on certain players too much.
They're very top heavy.
you don't
They're
trust
very
McVay anymore.
top-heavy.
McVay's.
I think McVay's a great coach, but I think he asked too much of Goff last year. And I think this year he's going to do the exact same thing because they have a rookie running back in Cam Akers, who I think is going to be a very good guy. I think he's going to be a very talented running back in the league. But he's not ready to carry a team like Todd Gurley did when Sean McVay started there. I think Cam Akers will be solid, but the fact is they're going to rely on Goff a lot. Goff is going to throw 50 passes a game almost every game this year. And he's got
Is
great
that a
arm
good
talent.
thing or a bad thing?
I'm thinking it's going to be a bad thing. I think Goff has great arm talent, but their receivers aren't as elite as I would like them to be for that to work out. Like Cooper Kupp is solid as a slot receiver. I mean, they've got Robert Woods, who's a good outside threat. But at the end of the day, their offense isn't going to gel as well as McVay wants them to. And they have a really good defense, too. I mean, they've got Jalen Ramsey, they got Aaron Donald.
Aaron Donald is literally a square. If you look at him,
Yeah,
I
he's-
saw.
His
I remember,
body-
literally
is a square.
defection.
Yeah,
he's
his
a
body,
unit,
not
yeah.
like his. I meant his body. I mean,
And his head probably.
His head's a square. You know what? His personality is probably a square, too.
I remember.
That guy doesn't
I was
smoke
watching.
balls.
I was watching football, and then they're previewing like the national. Like I think it was probably the Sunday night game, or maybe the marquee 4 p.m. Sunday game. But they're like, "Here's Aaron Donald walking into the stadium, so he's not wearing his shit. He's just in his street clothes." I'm like, dude, that guy's literally just a square brick of meat.
Yeah. He doesn't fit through the doorways properly.
No.
No.
The guy's
But
huge.
that meat is solid muscle. The guy is so ripped.
I know. He's like that low center of gravity. He's got the biggest legs.
He might be the most ripped player in the NFL
Yeah.
in terms of body.
Yeah. And
And he's kind of built like me. for you guys listeners, I'm built like Aaron Donald.
Yeah, so just think of Aaron
We're
Donald,
just
but
gonna-
white and
Yeah. Aaron Donald, but with Ryan Gosling's
6
face.
inches smaller. And, yeah, Ryan Gosling's like demented face. Yeah,
That looks like that's like something that you do in like some stupid generator. Like, or
That's why my Madden career guy
yeah,
looks
that's
like.
my sim. Yeah, it's like
playing
customizable player.
quarterback or something.
Gosling.
He's a
face
punter.
two.
So I'd most likely disappoint. I'm kind of going a little different than you guys with both these questions. 49ers.
I think that's a good one too.
I mean, look, they were the best team last year up until the Super Bowl, and they blew it. And I'm wondering,
Little hangover. Or?
yeah, Super Bowl hangover. That shit hurts, man. Like,
does hurt.
The amount of teams that you've seen, literally in very recent history. Falcons, we just talked about them. The Rams in their own division.
the Rams,
Talk about teams that blow these. I mean, 49ers prior, although they did lose their starting quarterback. But teams that lose the Super Bowl and then they just don't make it back for personnel reasons, and also I think there's some ego reasons as well. Just you lose that
They've got
edge.
a bunch of
It
egos
hurts,
on that
especially
team.
when you blow it. Especially when you blow it like that.
And they did blow it big time.
Yeah.
But end of the day, they still have a really, really good defense. Nick Bosa is going to be better this year than he was last year.
Oh my God, he's great.
He's such a good talent, and he's only going to get better for the next few years. He's going to be a premier defensive end in the league, if not already one.
Yeah, he already is.
Better group of brothers, Watts or Bosa's?
Bosa's.
Watts.
Bosa.
J.J. Watt is better than Joey Bosa. T.J. Watt's better than Nick Bosa. I'm calling it now.
No. Okay, the second one, no. But
Absolutely.
first one is debatable. Yeah, probably.
J.J. Watt is hands
But
down
again,
better.
serviceability too.
J.J.
like,
Watt's like a multiple defensive player of
Bosa's
the
playing
year.
every game. Watt isn't
J.J.
anymore.
Watt was a game changer. T.J.
TJ.
Game changer.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see when they can't afford to pay him. and
T.J.
he
Watt
becomes
not
a
being
Baltimore
defensive player of the
Raven.
year last year was a huge snub.
No, Gilmore deserved it. I thought.
Gilmore deserved it. If not for Gilmore, T.J. Watt defensive
He
player
was.
of the year.
Yeah, he is a cornerstone of that defense. So.
He was.
And you just
You're
called
right.
him, yeah.
Stephon deserved it just as much, if not more, than T.J. But if not for Stephen
I
Gilmore's
think
amazing season,
It's him and another guy, or he's like the only cornerback to ever win.
is he the only cornerback ever?
It's him and another person, or just him alone.
Did Darrell Revis ever win it?
I think it's Darrell Revis.
That would make sense.
Yeah,
The
But
year he
there's
got
only
like
been
7 or
two.
8
There's only been
picks.
two. Yeah.
Yeah, when Revis Island was a thing.
Yeah.
We're getting a little off topic here.
Well, that's what happens sometimes.
You made the Bosa Watt comparison.
Yeah.
And I thought this was going to be a contained conversation.
Now we're talking about Darrell Revis. Get with the program.
Gilmore.
Rank these teams and the way they're going to finish. Ryan, go first.
They're going to finish Seahawks, Niners, Rams, Cardinals. I think the Seahawks are going to go 11-5. The Niners are also going to go 11-5, but they're going to lose the tiebreaker. The Rams are going to go 10-5-1.
I like the specificity in this one.
This has a tie. This also has a tie. The Rams are going to tie a game.
Yeah.
Book it. And
Lots
the
of
Cardinals
ties.
are going to tie 2 games.
2 games. I was gonna say a bit more.
Do you think it's possible that like there's gonna be COVID ties where teams are just like can't play this
Can't
game?
play, there's gonna be COVID.
So maybe there's gonna be an
possibility.
unprecedented. Maybe that's where that 16.
Do you think-
Well, I think last year had the most ties of any season ever. Or
Yeah,
was
I
it the
think
year
it did.
before?
Yeah.
One of those last 2 years had the
Do you
most ties
think they
ever.
play double headers just to finish the season?
We're going to knock out all division games in 1 week.
Yeah, Thursday nighter and a Monday nighter. Good luck, boys.
Yeah, I have the 49ers, then Seahawks, then Rams, then Cardinals. I mean,
Yeah, I'm with Ron. I just got the Seahawks ahead of San Fran too. Very, very close, but
Yeah.
yeah.
okay. I forgot to ask this question in the last division, and I don't care to go back. But team you'd most like to GM 3 years from now?
The Rams. Absolutely the Rams, because then I could live in L.A. And
It's not biased.
This is not a personnel based thing.
for
but
for
okay.
all y'all listeners out there, I lived in L.A. for 3 years, and it was the
You look
best
like
3
more of a
years
San
ever.
Francisco guy to me, though.
Excuse you. That's them's fighting words.
This guy, are you kidding me? This guy who looks like Aaron Donald with
a Ryan Gosling
Ryan
face.
Gosling's. Yeah, exactly.
No, but like I think the Rams have a lot of young talent, and I think being able to GM a team like that with so much potential and a growing, budding fan base in LA.
I wouldn't say that.
I think the fan base in LA is leaning very heavily. As a former LA resident, a Los Angelino,
Do you think anyone cares though
I mean,
as much
yeah, they
as
do.
Seattle?
No, Seattle has a way bigger
Seattle
fan
has
base.
a better fan base.
Way better fan base. I'm not saying
Best
a better
fan
fan base.
base-
I'm not
best
saying a
fan base
better
in-
fan base. I'm saying
in
a
the West.
budding fan base, a growing fan base. I don't want to go into a team where they're going to hate me immediately if I don't win a season.
Washington State definitely has a budding fan base.
Nice. That's a slam dunk. That's going in the final version. No, but like I think LA's fan base is growing very quickly, and I think that they have a lot of talent, and I want to be a part of that organization's flowering into the upper echelon of the NFL. I think LA would be a great place to be a GM. I've been to so many bars where I saw Sean McVay and other Rams
even
players.
Okay, now
yeah,
you're
talking
just-
about the team a little bit, not about the
You're
city.
just literally
No, hold
reminiscing
on.
about times you got drunk in LA now.
yeah.
Hold on. You asked me where I want to be a GM. And I don't want to be a GM in San Francisco because fuck San Francisco. I don't like them as a team.
Good analysis.
Very impartial there. Yeah.
And like obviously not Arizona because who wants to be in Arizona right now?
I would rather
Fairfax.
be dead in California than
Been
alive in
Arizona.
Arizona.
Exactly. SoCal or bust.
Arrested Development reference for those who did not get that.
But no, like if I want to be a part of any organization in this division, it's LA by a mile.
I like Seattle just because of the fan base. Russell Wilson's got 5 to 6 more years.
Yeah, but we're talking
Build
3
it
years
up.
from now. You're inheriting an aging over
Yeah,
Russell Wilson.
I think Russell Wilson can kind of transition into like a Tom Brady if we could play into his.
He'd have to be a
40s.
Drew Brees.
He'd be a Drew Brees. He will be a Drew Brees. He's got the leadership. He'll
Do you know that
he'll
Russell
welcome-
Wilson is kind of a dick? He's kind of a prima donna asshole.
Oh, probably. They all are, but
No, not all of them.
Is he your biggest bitch in this division?
No, he's not. Are we going to that question now?
No, well, we can go to it in a sec, but finish your thing.
yeah, it's pretty much it. It's just the only thing. Pete Carroll's, I think he's 72 years old. That guy.
He's turning 70 this year.
I think he's 105.
Yeah. So, if you could figure out a replacement for him, I'll definitely go Seattle. Just good winning franchise too.
I'm going with the 49ers. I just think in 3 years they'll still be really good. I
You
think
you
they're
like the
team
colors.
that-
Yeah, you like.
Yeah, but like you're gonna be the GM of the team. Why though? What can you do with that team? You're only going downhill.
Jimmy G,
you think so?
baby.
I think
I
Jimmy
think
G
so.
has. I think Jimmy G's pretty good, and I think he has a
But
longevity with that.
In 3 to 5 years, their defense is gonna not be as good as they are right
They're
now.
pretty young.
They're young. They're young. A lot of the pieces are young, but a lot of their pieces aren't.
I still think this team.
Richard Sherman is done.
Okay, he's done. But
He's done.
I just think that this team overall, like 3 years from now, will still be in Super Bowl title conversations. Whether they're a favorite or not remains
Sure.
to be seen. But I think they're within that group, and I can see
Okay, but
drop offs with the Seahawks, the Rams, with how top heavy they've been on their last ill-fated kind of attempt to push through into the Super Bowl, which culminated in the one loss. I think they may have to retool. That may take a few years
Yeah,
to get
well,
the right guys.
Sorry, maybe I'm interpreting your question a little different.
Well, you
So
can interpret it however you want.
I want to inherit a team that is not already built. I want to inherit a team as a GM to build a team myself. I don't want to inherit a
But
team that is a Super Bowl
you don't want a
contender.
garbage fire. You don't want like a
No, that's why I'm not saying Arizona.
Cleveland Browns.
I'm not saying Arizona because that would be the garbage fire.
Yeah.
The Rams are the third best team in the division. They have nowhere to go but up, I think. That's why I want to be their GM. I think I can make that team into a division title contender. I don't think I could do anything to the Niners that they haven't done themselves. They're already where they need to be.
Fair enough. A lot of good answers here. This is a good division. Some good teams.
Really good division.
Biggest bitch.
Am I going?
Yeah, you can go first.
So, as much as I said that Russell Wilson's a giant bitch, and I agree that he is, as talented as he is, he's not my biggest bitch of this division this year. Jalen Ramsey is the ultimate bitch in the NFL. I hate this guy.
That's a good one.
What a piece of shit. And he goes to LA and he's still a fucking asshole. What more can I say? Like I hate this guy's personality. He's such a piece of shit trash talker. He rants on Twitter.
Is he overrated?
He bitches about it. No, I think physically he's a fantastic corner. He's arguably the
Probably
best
the
corner
best
in the league.
runner, yeah.
He's the best in the league. But
Gilmore,
he doesn't have to
yeah.
be such a prick about it. He's a bitch. He should have stayed in Jacksonville and did his time on a shitty team. But no, he bitched and he complained and he got out.
to a better situation. Shame on him.
Shame on him.
But no, he's
the Le'Veon Bell of this division.
He's quite lippy. Dylan.
Sean McVay.
Ooh,
Really?
I had that too. That was mine.
I just wanted to kind of stir Ryan's feathers a little bit. You know,
I like Sean McVay.
Ruffle it up.
Why is he a bitch? You tell me.
A little bit of kind of a lot of hype. A lot of hype.
But how does that make him a bitch?
Just I want to see him kind of produce. Obviously, we've been to the finals last year, and I'm not saying he's a bitch.
2 years ago.
2 years ago. He's up and coming still, and he's walking the walk, but he hasn't really.
He's golfing the golf.
Yeah, he's golfing the golf. Yeah, I like that one actually. He's got to really hammer down this division for him to be one of the greats that everyone talks about and
That he could be.
that he could be. Like people are calling him the next Belichick, right? Where he's got that.
I see him as the next
beautiful
Sean
mind.
Payton.
Yeah, I can see that too. But he kind of like he's shouldn't be too happy about the situation right now.
No,
Look,
I don't think he is.
Okay, my reason, just to jump on that, my reason for why I have Sean McVay as the biggest bitch, but yes, like because of all the pub around him, he's the next great one and everything. I think it's kind of one of those situations where eccentricities that you have when you're winning and your team is good is like, wow, that's awesome. Then once you start losing a little bit and like you come back down to earth,
You gotta own it.
then you start thinking like, maybe it is weird that he has a coach whose literal job is to pull him back off the sidelines. Like,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
no one else does that. Can you not just fucking stay just on the sidelines? It's a small thing, but it's like just one of those things where it's like literally he thought to himself, I need a dedicated guy to hold my hips to make sure that when the ref
To dance
comes,
with me. To dance with me.
yes, dance the game of football. Dance. I need a dedicated guy to hold my hips to make sure that when this ref comes, he can pull me back. We're gonna pay him millions of dollars.
I got a plan.
I mean, like then it becomes
Does that
weird.
make him a bitch, or does that make him a Hollywood performer? He does live in LA.
But like what Chris is saying,
Okay,
though,
like-
you gotta justify it.
He's an entertainer. He's like a player on the field. He wants to entertain.
He wants to be a player on the field. He
high-
used to be a
high-
player on the
That's
field.
kind of a
Hold
bitchy.
on.
That's kind of a bitchy move for a coach.
It is a bitchy move.
Yeah.
But a lot of coaches make bitchy moves like that all the time.
Well, yeah. So right now he's a little bitch.
He's okay. Not as much as Jalen Ramsey, but sure.
Well, there's like in every division, there's multiple bitches. We're just naming
Yeah,
some of
fair.
them.
Sean McVay's a bit of a bitch.
90% are bitches.
Most of them are bitches.
That's true. Once you start making big money, you make the pros.
Also,
like,
Richard Sherman, huge candidate for biggest
Oh
bitch.
yeah,
That's true.
a good one.
Richard Sherman's an ultimate bitch.
Yep.
But he's been a
He
bitch
is
for
a
so
crap.
long that he's
Yeah.
not as on my mind as a bitch anymore because
He
it's
did.
just
He
ingrained.
did kind of.
It's ingrained.
He
exactly.
was his own agent though, and did get all the incentives and got paid a
Yeah,
shit ton of money.
he's a fucking
He was
Stanford
being a
grad.
bitch, but you know what? He kind of.
you can be talented, you can be smart, and still be
Yeah.
a bitch.
yeah.
Yeah.
They are
Sean
Richard
McVay.
Sherman, Sean McVay, smart and talented bitch.
they are not mutually exclusive. Okay, moving to miscellaneous cues. If the Rams miss the playoffs this year, is Sean McVay's job at all in jeopardy?
No.
No chance.
Is the
Sean
seat
McVay's
getting a little hot?
Nope.
No.
I don't think so at all. Sean McVay has proven that he's a revolutionary coach in the league, especially offensively.
And like Ryan just said, like he's the LA guy.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, he's got the face, he's got the demeanor, he's got a good.
He's very much Hollywood
business
McVay.
sense, too, yeah.
Fair enough. Just putting it out there.
I don't think.
Yeah.
I think
I mean-
maybe in 3 or 4 years, if they don't make the playoffs, then he's on the hot seat.
Okay.
But his production up to now has secured his job for a while.
Fair enough. Next question, also LA based. Was Jared Goff's disappointing season last year an aberration or indicative of what his true talent level might be?
I think it's the opposite of what his true talent level may be.
So an aberration.
Yeah, I think. No, hold on, not an aberration. I think there will be many more aberrations, but an aberration by definition means that it's not going to happen very often. I think he
Right.
will have many seasons like this,
Really? Okay.
but I think his true talent level is much more than that.
So constant underperformer then? This is
Constant,
just like
exactly, sure,
So
constant
would that be just
underperformer.
an
It's not an
underachievement?
aberration. It's just I think that he's really, really talented. He's got a fantastic arm. The guy's got a cannon, and he's got great accuracy, and he understands the system very well. He works really hard, but the problem is that it doesn't work out every time for these guys that work hard.
22nd last year in passer rating.
Yeah, no, that's bad.
That's not what I mean. He needs to be, for them to get back to where they want to
He
be.
needs to be top 15 at least.
Top 10, I would say.
Yeah, for what he gets paid, at least.
For
top
what he
10.
gets paid, top 10 maybe, top 12, reasonable.
I'm going to move back up because I forgot to ask this question. I had a special start bench cut Wide receiver duos. Start, bench, cut. Tyler Lockett plus DK Metcalf. Cooper Kupp plus Robert Woods. DeAndre Hopkins plus Larry Fitzgerald. Dylan, you can go first.
Ooh,
That's tough.
That is tough. I'm probably gonna cut Metcalf and Lockett.
Yeah,
sorry,
Tyler
I'm not
Lockett.
close, but yeah, I'll cut DK and Lockett just because they don't have the credentials as the other two groups. I think Kupp kind of excels this year too. I see the Rams kind of pulling together this year, and Goff kind of again figuring it out. It's hard to kind of go against Hopkins. You know, he's number one right now, our top three at least. Fitzgerald.
I'd say he's number one.
Well, yeah, it's him, Mike Thomas,
Or Julio Jones.
or Julio Jones.
They're
Those are
the top three.
Yeah, those are collective top three. And Fitzgerald is just again.
Can we replace
Christian
Fitzgerald?
Kirk.
Can we replace him with Christian Kirk?
Yeah,
Because
so-
then that's my lock for start.
That's a lock. But again, Fitzgerald has probably one of the best that we've ever seen in our lifetime for sure.
Oh, absolutely
Easily.
one of the best.
And yeah, Kupp and Woods. I think Kupp's good. I think Kupp's kind of underrated. I think he's a top 20 receiver. And Woods. And I think Kupp.
Robert Woods is a top 20 receiver.
Yeah,
Wow.
I think he is.
He's up there. He's a good receiver. He's very underrated.
Kupp.
'Cause he's not flashy.
Kupp is like 15 to 10 too. Like he's
He's a premier slot
You figure
receiver.
it out.
Premier
Yeah.
slot receiver.
Yeah.
He's not an outside threat at all.
no, but
But in the
he'll
slot,
catch
he's
80 to
very
90
very.
this year.
He's a modern day Wes Welker.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah,
Little different.
Not as the same.
Not as
not as-
accomplished,
it's not
but
as
he's
snappy, yeah.
like he's a young Wes Welker.
Yeah.
Better than Julian Edelman?
In
his
I
prime?
think in his prime, oof. Cooper Kupp hasn't hit his prime. Julian Edelman in his prime, better, fine. But I think Kupp has a long way to go before he hits his prime.
Better than Danny Amendola?
No one's better than Danny Amendola and his hot ass
His
wife.
wife, yes, ex-wife.
Okay, so you cut Tyler Lockett and DK, and then who are you starting versus who are you benching there? I
I'm
don't
probably
think
gonna start Hopkins. Yeah.
Hopkins, Larry
You
Fitzgerald.
can't not start Hopkins. It could be Hopkins and me, and I'm going to start Hopkins and me over anyone else. 'Cause
Yeah,
Hopkins
right.
is the best receiver outside of maybe Michael Thomas and Julio Jones in the NFL. The guy is such a freak.
So are you going with the same answer there?
I'm going with the same answer. I would like to replace Fitzgerald with Christian Kirk because I think Christian Kirk has a ton more potential.
I agree with that.
But
That's
yeah,
not what I asked.
I know it's not what you asked. So even still, like,
Answer the question.
it could be DeAndre Hopkins and nobody, and it would still be my start.
Right.
Because DeAndre Hopkins is just that good. I agree with you too, Dylan. Robert Woods is a very underrated receiver. He's a super good outside threat. He can catch in traffic. He can catch the ball down the field. And Cooper Kupp is a premier slot receiver in the league. I think he's going to be a very, very good slot receiver going forward. I think if Jared Goff utilizes him correctly like he has in the past, he's going to have a 90 to 100 reception year easily and surpass 1,000 yards. Because he's just that reliable as a slot receiver. And I think DK and Tyler Lockett are like good. I think DK is going to be a very good receiver in the future. And right now he's very raw, but
Just
I
not
think
there yet, right?
He's just not there yet, but he will be. I think he will be. And Tyler Lockett, I think he's okay. He's too small, if you ask me, though.
Okay. Fair enough. I'm not really going to answer this question. I kind of agree with you guys. And we've talked enough about that. Next question. Who has the better season this year? Jimmy G or Jared Goff?
What do you mean by better season? Passing yards?
Or passing yards?
Touchdowns?
I don't know. Just
Fantasy
general
points?
production. Just general production.
Statistics or wins? It'd be my thing.
Who has a better...
Statistics.
Statistics.
Jared Goff.
Probably Goff too.
Yeah.
Just based off the system.
Exactly. They're going to throw the ball
I
all
think
the time.
McVay kind of leans on him again this year, and
Yeah.
he kind of hunkers down and gets the job done.
Doubles down on
Gets-
his number one overall pick.
Yeah, invested a lot of money into him, and he kind of works with him a bit more.
And like I said, he's like a very talented quarterback. He can throw the ball all the way down the field, just like anyone else in the league. He's got a decent receiver core around him. He's got a rookie running back that he can rely on probably. But Jimmy G is not going to have to throw the ball as much because the defense is going to buoy him, and the running game is very strong. So I see Jimmy G throwing the ball 20 times a game, where I see Goff throwing the ball 40 to 50 times a game.
Fair.
And by that metric alone, Goff's going to have a better statistical season.
Okay. Fair enough. Next question. Is
Go ahead.
Kyler Murray ever going to be the best QB in this division?
Does Russell Wilson die in a car accident or something?
Yeah.
Likely
Can you
not. I hope
wait
not.
8 years? Can you wait 8 years?
Yeah.
Sure. Would it be 8 years?
Okay, so how many years until Russell Wilson retires?
6 years, 8 years.
6 to 8 years?
I think
Then no, because by then another quarterback will be drafted.
Yeah.
No, Kyler Murray will never be the best quarterback in the division.
Second best. Can he be the second best within 4 years?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you think so?
Goff and Jimmy G aren't like transcendent talents.
They're not, but Kyler Murray isn't either.
Well, you never know, right? This guy could take off like Lamar Jackson did, right? So we'll see.
I don't know. I think Kyler Murray's okay as a quarterback. He's very mobile. He seems to have his head on right. Smart kid. Very much undersized. And I hate undersized quarterbacks. Usually they never work out. And I know that on his stat sheet it says he's 5'10", 5'11". Kyler Murray's not more than 5'9". If you look at him.
Can he see over his offensive line?
He can't. That's why he rolls out so much. That's why he's a mobile quarterback. Because he has to get away from the line to see down the field.
You can just kind of like guess if he knows the playbook really well. He's right here.
Well, that's what Drew Brees does. He throws the ball and trusts that the receiver will.
Well, that's why you can't throw 40 yards in the field.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Last question. Is this the best division in football?
Is this the best? No, the AFC North. With the Steelers and the Ravens.
No.
Both going 12-4.
I'm going to go, probably NFC West, yeah.
You think so?
Yeah. I
Well, there's
really
probably-
like San Francisco.
I think there could be three.
There's
playoff
two
te-
Super Bowl teams
I think there
there.
can be 3 playoff teams out of this division.
Or it's the NFC North. I
The
really
NFC
like
South has
Packers
the
and
Bucks and the Saints
But then the
and the Falcons.
I think I don't think
No, you gotta
that,
take the
I don't
top
think
two.
there's a
You're
You're a
division.
Bears fan apparently this year. The North is good.
I said the North.
Okay.
Packers, Vikings are both legit teams. East, I'm not crazy about the East, NFC. But yeah,
Either
for
East.
me, San Fran and Seattle have both legit chance to win Super Bowl this year.
Right.
No other division has
That's
that.
fair. That's fair.
Like my interpretation on this, because I believe it is just simply 49ers, Seahawks, 2 really high ceiling teams potentially. Either one could be in the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah, exactly.
Rams
Like,
might.
how do you compete with
Rams arguably might be the best third team in any division.
They would have made the playoffs
They probably
last year.
are.
They would have made
And
the playoffs last year.
then the
With
Cardinals
this playoff
are,
system.
I think, a decently good 4th team.
Well,
Like I
to
think
be- yeah,
overall,
to be
this,
7.5
there's a
too.
lot of strength in this division.
No, it's a good division for sure.
Yeah, but anyway, it's going to be a really interesting season, and we'll see how it goes. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for
No,
having me.
thank
man.
you, man.
I appreciate the opportunity.
Anytime.